Hello. Hello. I know I put the start time for 8:30, but who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares what start time I picked? Look, I'm sorry, everybody who watches this, that we didn't have a stream last night. My head really wasn't in it, so I thought I'd just play some silly games. Hello, Halakart. You're a star. Yes, that beer emoji is exactly what has happened this afternoon. I've started 8 minutes early. So what? Look at this. Look how suave I look. Black shirt, black tie. You don't see me in a shirt very often, do you? But my head wasn't in it last night. I just thought I'd just chill, play some games, have a bit of a chat. And if anybody would like to pop by in the stream tonight and just say hello, have a bit of fun, Iman, you are more than welcome to pop in. You know where the link is. You know exactly where the link is. It's been look at just in the stories about nautical horror and haunted ships. This will be more fun. Yeah, okay. Morning, Daniel. It's not morning. No, Daniel, it's not morning. It might be for you because you've been had an operation and stuff, and you probably only woken up an hour ago. But hello, Jean. Hello, Jean. Right, I am going to. This is for a pint. Well, I've had more than a pint today. I'll tell you that now. Here we go. We have an Iman. How are you doing, fella?
I'm pretty good, thanks, mate. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
My headphones aren't working.
Oh no!
There we go.
Can you hear me?
No, my headphones have just turned themselves off.
Oh dear.
Let's try that again. Headphones work. Battery high. Just try again, Iman.
Hello?
I can hear you now. That's beautiful. That's
hello, wonderful. Sir. Yes, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Hello, Daniel. You know what? I've had the most cheapest day going because the first I went to the bar, after the service or whatever, I said, does anybody want a pint? Does anybody want a pint? And then everyone said no. Apart from my daughter said, I'll have a lemonade. So I bought myself a pint, bought my daughter lemonade. Then my wife's cousin came back with a pint for me. Then I went to the bar, bought myself a pint. Daughter didn't want a lemonade. Then my wife came back with a pint for me. Then somebody else came back from the bar with a pint for me. Then I went back, got a pint. Then I went back and got a pint for me. And then my wife's cousin decided she didn't want a large glass of wine and poured it in my pint. So I've paid for 3 beers and I've had 6 in a glass of wine, and that's marvelous. That's absolutely marvelous. And Daniel's an absolute. For what it's worth, I'd share a pint. Yeah. I have had the most. Look, funerals are horrible days. Funerals are shit.
Yeah.
My wife's dad was a really nice guy. My kids were so close to him. He was a sort of granddad who would get out a bucket and spade on the beach and go digging in the beach with his grandkids, or he'd go climbing up hills with his grandkids. No matter how old he was, didn't care. He'd be up there having fun with his grandkids. And
yeah,
for the first time I've seen them, my kids, my 2 beautiful kids, have let go today. And my daughter was so distraught. My son held on for a long time, but to see them, it tore my heart. It tore my heart to see them go, and it taught to me exactly what he meant to them. And I think they've stood up beautifully. I think this afternoon they've had a couple of beers. They've chatted to the families. They've stood up beautifully, and I'm very proud of them both. Very proud of them both.
You know what? Hearing you say all that genuinely brings a tear to my eye, John, because that's what I want in my future.
Well, that's the way it is. I mean, I've had I've sat there tonight after a few beers, and I've had a good long chat with a few people I've not had a chat with for years. One was my wife's dad's next door neighbour, who obviously knew him really well because they lived next door to each other for 40 years. Had a great chat with him. And then my wife's cousin's daughter, who I'd last seen when she was 6 or 7 years old, she's now 29.
What?
And she was sat there drinking wine with me while I was drinking my beer, and we were discussing Lovecraftian horror.
Of all things.
Of
wow.
all things. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. Really, really good. And then I was talking to my wife's cousin's girlfriend. Now, my wife's cousin was married to a bloke 10 years ago. He passed away, and then she came out. And now she's engaged to be married to a woman. But I was talking to her girlfriend for the first time in a long, long time. And we've got so much in common. It's ridiculous. And we were both pissed as farts.
Yeah, that always helps. Yeah.
So it's been one of those days where we have all just opened up and gone blah, blah, and it's been wonderful.
Well, I think the trauma of the loss is one thing, but then also alcohol just sort of frees up people.
It does. It does. I mean, and the beer in the pub we've been to was good. The food was good. Loads of family members are there. 60 of us just piled in from a crematorium and just went, oh, we're taking over the pub. And it's exactly what Tom would have wanted. In fact, my wife's dad would have loved it. It was his sort of thing. So lots of us. My wife's brother's even more pissed than I am. Oh yeah, he's gone completely. But fair play.
Do you know what? I'm actually quite surprised you're still quite as coherent as you are, mate.
Am I coherent? I don't care. I don't know if I'm coherent.
Maybe the title of the stream isn't, but you.
I got home. I just thought, I just hit the keyboard, and I was like, yeah.
Do you know what? No, please do never edit the title of this stream. You must leave it for austerity.
First thing I did when I turned the computer on was I went into the Discord of a mate of mine we played games with on a Monday night, D&D with on Monday night, and I just logged into his Discord and called him a knob.
Nice.
and he laughed. Which is how it's meant to be. It's how it's meant to be. Yeah.
Do you know, I'd react exactly the same way if you did that to me as well.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? So I'm going to say hello to people. You know what? Yeah. We've got Halakar here. Listen to stories about nautical horror and haunted ships. It's a bit more fun. I can't guarantee that. I promise, Halakar. I can't guarantee that. Daniel and Jane, and Daniel's given me 5 memberships for a pint, and I haven't. I can't remember how to see the memberships, so I'm going to give you that job. Iman, tell us who's got the memberships. Yeah.
Let's find out.
Nerds, being a stand-up individual as always. Look, nerd. If we were ever in the same bar, yeah. Absolutely. We'd have a few pints and we'd just go,
so there's someone called, hang on, I've forgotten that already. Okay, so there's someone called Terra Smith. There's someone called Manalishi66.
Don't know who these are. I've got a clue.
There's a Clark Ashton Smith. There's a Speaker Dad. And there's a John Payton.
There's a John Payton, is Daniel, you've bought my work account a membership again. It's wonderful. Yeah, that's my work account.
Yeah, you became a member to your own channel again for I think the 3rd time.
Daniel, get your fat ass in here and just have a chat.
Hey Dan, if there's ever a time where you and John will get along, it's when he's as drunk as you normally are. Sorry.
Well, thing is, what I've been drinking tonight, it was my sister who bought the second pint, and I remember saying to her, "It's been 20 years since you've offered to buy me a pint, so I'll have a Guinness because Guinness is quite expensive." And she was like, "Yeah."
Oh right, okay.
And so I was on Wainwright's Pale Ale or whatever before that, and I was on Wainwright's Pale Ale afterwards. But my sister bought me a Guinness, which was wonderful. Down that,
Guinness?
yeah, point your Guinness. I don't care about the what accent's gone wrong. But then my wife's cousin's daughter left her glass of wine, and it was a large glass of red wine. And just poured into a pint glass. I was like, huzzah! We're gonna have this as well. And
Nice.
Yeah,
yeah. So basically, alcohol was just constantly being cycled from to you.
Yes.
Like by the time you finish one, someone else had brought another one, and by the time you finished that, someone else had brought one.
Yeah.
Have you seen Mr. Baker's comment? It's quite
that?
funny.
Which one?
He says you can both fall asleep on the same stream.
Yeah, Daniel, get in here and fall asleep with me. Dungeon Minister, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have sinned. I am misbehaving. I've been to a funeral today and I'm drunk. But you've probably ministered over numerous funerals, and you know what people do after funerals, and that is get beers down the neck, and that's what I've done this afternoon.
It sounds like he ministers dungeons. I think people definitely get up to some weird shit in dungeons.
Look, Dungeon Minister is a cool bloke, and I'm sure he understands. Of
course he does.
Sure yeah, of course he does. And Mr. Baker, yeah, I've had just the right amount to drink. And for me, it is a equivalent of about a gallon of beer. And it's 5 ales, a Guinness, and a large red wine. And I've got some Southern Comfort here, and I've had other bits and pieces as well. Just people have just waved stuff at me, and I've gone, "Hey, I'll throw it in." But what I remember having was 5 pints, a Guinness, and a large red wine. So,
John's back from the funeral. He's quite jolly.
Absolutely. Hello, Iman's family.
Oh, that's my mum. Yeah, I was telling her the news, and she said, best wishes to you and your family. John says hello, Iman's mum.
Thank you. Yeah. I tell you what, my wife gave a speech at the funeral today. I've never seen her speak in front of more than 2 people before. She spoke in front of the entire crematorium with her dad in a coffin behind her. And
really?
And it was insane. I've never seen her do that before. I'm so proud of her.
And I think he would be too.
It would be, yeah.
Bless her. Do you know what? I can completely relate, because I know you might not think it, but I'm actually really shy in person. I won't be with you guys, because obviously I've known you for a while now, and I know what your senses of humor are.
I am in company I don't know. If I'm in a group company I don't know, and I've had nothing to drink, and there's no microphone in my hand, then I'm shy. If you put me near a microphone, then God help you.
Because especially if you're running a Call of Cthulhu one shot.
A microphone somehow gives me confidence. And then
but is that like false confidence because you feel like you have to put on a show, or is it real?
No, I've been hosting pub quizzes for 27 years.
Ah, that's true. Yeah, that's nearly as long as I've been alive.
And I've always had a microphone in front of my gob when I've been doing that.
So it's like second nature to you, isn't it?
And I can just talk shite down a microphone for hours, which is...
What else is new? Hey!
What else? Yeah, exactly. But there's 10 people here who have been suitably attracted to the fact that I can't type.
I think... Yeah, I think the stream just catches people's attention.
It does. Dungeon Minister, when I'm in Canada, in October. Let's get pissed together. Is that? I mean, I'm promising that to you. I would like to have a beer with you. You come across on your YouTube channel as being a really, really open, fun, nice guy. I would like to have a drink with you, and I hope you'd like to have a drink with me. And let's do it. Let's do it. Let's live stream it. Let's live stream both of us in a bar, downing beers, going.
We like to drink with John because John is our man.
And I also think that there's other people who would be fun to join us, like Mage and Slan and Bear and people like that, who will be coming, who would like to have a really good drink. Daniel, if you're coming along, you need to drink twice as much.
It's not the same without hearing his laugh.
Dungeon Minister, there we go. How much are beers in Canada now?
Oh gosh, who even knows?
I've been paying roughly £4 a pint today, which is about the equivalent of about $7 ish. About $5 US, about $7, $8 Canadian. That's what I've been paying for my beers today. So, how much are beers in Canada? Let us know. Hello, Mercurius. This isn't a sensible stream at all. Oh, you drink wine? But that's fine. I drink wine as well. I drink whatever I'm given, as long as it's not gin. Gin makes me sick.
Oh, but, so it's not whatever you're given then.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of whiskey either, to be honest. I will admit that. I'll drink Southern Comfort, it's sweeter. I'm not a fan of whiskey.
You and I are gonna have to have a fucking fight.
Thank you, Mercurius. We've actually had a really good send off for Tom today. It's been really, really good. I've had some wonderful conversations with good people I've not caught up with for years, and I've been chatting with older guys and younger girls and older cousins and younger cousins and all sorts, and we've had some wonderful chats. I found out tonight that my wife's cousin's daughter is a massive Lovecraft fan, and I've been sat chatting to her for an hour, and she her mom has just texted my wife to say that her daughter's just been sick in the car on the way home.
Oh gosh.
Because she's just been going wine. And fair play. But the thing is, last time I met her, she was probably 7 or 8 years old, and she's now 29. She's got 2 kids, and we've been sat there.
That's crazy.
She's been drinking wine. I've been drinking beer, and we've been talking about Lovecraft for an hour or so. And it's just fantastic to have a chat with someone who is of a different generation to me, who's been reading Lovecraft and watching horror. And she was saying, first thing she said to me, I said, I'm a nerd. Are you a nerd? And she said, yeah, I'm a nerd. I said, okay, why are you a nerd? She goes, have you ever heard of Mansions of Madness? And I was like, the board game or the Call of Cthulhu adventure? She was like, what? I was like, the board game, the Call of Cthulhu adventure? She was like, I've got a board game. I said, okay, I've run the Call of Cthulhu adventure for the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm aware of the board game, but I'm a bigger nerd than you because I play the role-playing game, Call of Cthulhu, and I've run the adventure. She's like, well, we've just played the board game. I said, well, that's good. That's good. You're 23 years younger than me. Enjoy the board game. Get into it, which was fantastic. Really, really good. Beer's $2.75. Shots also. That's good. That's good. What's happening, Straw Piglet? What's happening is I'm shit faced.
That's
what's happening.
Did you chat to her about our Orient Express campaign that you're running?
I mentioned also. I can't remember what I talked to her about. Can't remember.
I'm sure you wouldn't have missed an opportunity to tell the world how much you're having fun.
We talked all manner of shit for an hour. I, for the life of me, can't remember what it was about.
That's fair.
Okay.
I mean, do you know what? It sounds like it's a good conversation.
I seem sober to you. Oh, cheers. Cheers, Straw Piglet. I'm good at masking. That's all I can say.
Are you joking? He doesn't seem sober at all. And it's hilarious. The thing is, I
Someone
think
make
it's
sure
because
to
I know what he's like when he's sober. I know what he's like when he's had one or two, and I know what he's like when he's had more than that.
And tonight I've had more than that.
Tonight is like Drinking Quest revisited.
Look, Daniel, I've posted the link of the usual place. I'm sure I did. Did I?
You did. That's how
I
I'm
did,
here.
yeah. Yeah, it's in the usual place. You don't need to ask. You shouldn't need to ask, Daniel. You shouldn't need to ask.
Hey, I mean, I wasn't going to join, but then you said, Iman, you're always welcome, or whatever you said. And I was like, right, here I am. I'm going to annoy him.
Look. I don't give a shit who joins. Just join in and have some fun, have a chat. That's all I care about.
That's what we're here
Yeah.
for. I mean,
So
we're obviously here to make sure that you're okay, but you seem more than okay, so...
I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. We've had a really, really good afternoon. My father-in-law was a sort. He came across. He had a bit of a gruff voice, but if you put him in the centre of a party, he'd be the sort in the middle of the party, waving a glass around and saying, "Have a drink, join in, have fun," singing along. It was that sort.
Yeah.
So this afternoon, we walked into the pub. There were about 3 or 4 regulars in the pub. 60 of us arrived at the pub and just charged in. The regulars left straight away. And those 60 of us were there for about 4 hours just going, which was great. It was absolutely wonderful. It was wonderful.
Did you play darts? Did you play pool or anything like that?
No, I just talked shit all the whole time. Just talk shit the whole time, yeah. Speaking of talking shit, Daniel, how you doing?
I'm all right.
How's your face?
Yeah, at least I don't have the pressure, but they packed my sinuses with gauze, so I have the pressure from that until they dissolve.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm on vodka and oxy.
Oh, yes. The best mix in the world. Alcohol and pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mercurius. You're a bloody star. I mean, I wasn't expecting.
We got more memberships. Okay, right.
Yeah. I got home tonight and I thought, what do I do? I just thought the wife was unloading the car. I helped her unload the bags from the car. We had cakes and drinks in or whatever from the pub that were left over. And I just thought, what are we going to do? It's only 8:30, 8 o'clock, 8:15.
So
I'll put the computer on.
We have Ironcaster, Winnie Ella.
Yeah.
Mr. Ambrose.
We have Gingerbeard.
Hello, Gingerbeard.
Hello.
Elizabeth McKinnon and Nerdy Ogre. I only recognise.
Well, Nerdy Ogre. We know the name Nerdy Ogre. We know the name Nerdy Ogre. Gingerbeard, I resemble you on a Saturday at the moment. Clearly.
I mean, that's
have you seen all
one
this?
way to put it.
Have you seen me in a shirt and tie before? Look at this.
Oh, very nice. You could be the keyboard player.
Yes.
Could be the keyboard player for Rammstein.
Du hast mich. It's not their best song though. I'm a big fan of Mein Herz brennt. I think that's a better record.
I like Moscow.
I mean,
Mein Herz brennt.
I also like David Brent. I know I'm the only one obsessed with Eurovision. Did anyone else who maybe watched or has seen the highlights notice that Croatia, who were one of the favourites, basically did a knockoff Rammstein?
I heard they did, but I didn't watch it because
I didn't watch it either.
I heard in general it was shite.
I know, and you're entitled to your opinion. But so basically, the backing track for Croatia was that like dun 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 dun, that is so common to Rammstein songs.
Good. Then if Croatia pulled that off and made a half decent song out of it, they deserve to have won. Why didn't they?
because it's all a fix to make me piss away my betting money.
Did
That's
you
fair.
lose then? Did you lose?
So I have a floating betting account where I have about, well, what was £50 worth of betting credits after the Grand National. That is down to £20, and that was only because I had £5 to spare and threw on a 3-1 bet about which place the winner in Eurovision would come from. That's the only money I made because
You had Switzerland then. You had Switzerland.
As in Switzerland came between 7th and whatever the odds were, 7th and 14th. Like that was when they performed.
Oh, right, okay.
It was nice to wake my wife up and tell her that Norway had come absolutely last, which was sad because the Norwegian song was actually pretty good.
What do you think about the Swiss performance?
Getting your channel cancelled again. It was.
Hold on. Let me get it cancelled because I have watched it back, and it was a load of fucking nonsense.
That
you disagree
would be.
With that?
I don't disagree with that. I'm just I'm guessing I'm trying to be sexist here. It would be a nice pivot if that's a good module idea to do like a fantasy Eurovision where the adventurers have to deal with a riot because so basically the adventurers are security and Dwarflandia is performing, but they're getting equal amounts of boos and cheers because the audience agree that Dwarflandia maybe shouldn't take the land away from Aucklandia. But Dwarflandia has a lot of financial support from North Human America.
In chat, if you look, I'm drunk and I get these current references. So if you don't, you're shit thick. Yeah.
Or you are the YouTube algorithm, which I'm trying to dance around.
Yeah, quite. And thank you for dancing around the YouTube algorithm because it's a wanker. And I'm going to say tonight, I don't care about swearing and bad language. It's one of those days where I'm drunk as a skunk. I've already lost one subscriber since I've started this stream. I don't care. I was on 54 earlier. 1853 now. You know what I say to that?
Well, exactly. Whoever they were, good fucking riddance.
Yep. The one thing, his betting habit sounds like mine during our football season. I keep a separate account. I'll place 20 or 25 on the Thursday night game. If I win that, I roll it over into the 2 early college games and then the 2 late college games on Saturday. Whatever I win out of that, I'll place on 2 early football games and 2 late football games and the Sunday night game on Sundays. I've been up the one weekend I won every game. I was up $350 and lost it all on a missed field goal on the Sunday night game.
The worst bit of gambling I can remember, apart from, did I ever tell you about my bad beat on poker? I'll come to that in a moment. A friend of mine had one of those long lists, which if you bet on British football, you'd understand what they are. They give you 10 games.
Oh, the accumulators.
Yes, yeah.
Accumulators. And you put about £1 or £2 on it. But a lot of them are very, very sort of 50-50 games. So if you get them all right, you're going to make a lot of money. And a friend of mine, we go back to about 1993, 94, when we were all students, and he put about 50p on this, 50 pence about. equivalent to about 60 cents in American money now. And he'd got the first 9 had come in. And when you're a student, 400 odd pounds is a lot of money. And his last
Don't even have to be a
result.
student. £400 is a lot of money for the majority of us.
Yeah.
His last result was on Scottish League Division 2. And it was a team in the top 3 against Cowdenbeath, who are a terrible team, who are bankrupt and who are pretty much relegated. And it was a late result, and this top team were leading 2-0. And we were dancing around that we were going to get slaughtered, have takeaway food on him. And Cowdenbeath came back in the last 5 minutes of added time of a delayed kickoff to draw to make it 2-2. I've never seen a grown man cry as much as he did. It was painful.
That happened to me last year. I did one of those. You place $10 on like 4 things to happen in football. And if all 4 things, it's like certain people need to get so many points or yards or whatever.
It's pretty much like that. Yeah, you can do that.
And I bet $10 and would have won 300. But in the last 30 seconds of the game, because the Kansas City Chiefs had no faith in their defense, Patrick Mahomes slid on the 2 rather than scoring. If he would have scored, I would have won. But they wanted to run the clock out, and the spread on the game beat me.
And I bet you were there hoping that Patrick Mahomes never had children after that.
Well, my wife walked in the den and asked me what was wrong. But yeah, I was livid because if he would have scored, I would have won.
Thing is, Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks.
Right now, he's ranked the best. Yeah,
he's one of the best quarterbacks we've had in American football for the last 30 or 40 years.
One of the best.
One of the best. You can't question his decisions. I mean,
it depends on if you want to do throwing ability or athleticism.
He's got both.
He does. But Drew Brees was awesome. Drew Brees was more accurate.
Of course. Yeah. But Drew Brees was intelligent. He was a game manager as well as an incredible passer.
Correct. But no, Mahomes is good. I just, like Tom Brady, I didn't like him, but I give him respect as being a great pocket passer, and
the same as Drew Brees. He was a game manager. He knew he was a superb tactician as well as a great passer. Yeah. Same with Peyton Manning. He was in the same.
He's my second thing. My wife always said I had a man crush, well, especially Drew Brees, but also on Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was a Statue of Liberty. He couldn't move faster than a toddler on its hands and knees.
It didn't matter because he knew what he was doing.
Yep.
Yeah. See, Americans. I know a bit about American football. I know about you a bit about your sport. I hate baseball. Baseball's a big bag of wank. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, American football is a great sport.
I mean, you actually, we've talked about this before. Like, I do not like cricket. You love cricket.
I love it. Yeah.
And I would have thought that baseball appeals to you.
No. Cricket is baseball with more stories, more atmosphere, more interest, and better crowd interaction.
Yeah. Baseball
is poor man's cricket.
Yeah. I don't watch baseball on TV very much. I love going to the games because then you see what the players are actually doing on the field and how they move around for different batters and stuff like that. But on TV, I don't watch it. Not very much.
I don't like baseball and I don't like basketball. I will admit those now. Sorry, American friends.
I absolutely love basketball.
I hate it. Hate it.
I like it as a sport, but I can't watch it.
My brother-in-law, Simon, if you Google Simon Fisher, he was the coach of the Great Britain Paralympic basketball team.
Cool.
He's been a basketball coach for years and years and years. And me and him I had a good chat with him tonight. We didn't talk about basketball, but me and him have had all sorts of chats about basketball. I can't stand it. He's my brother-in-law. He's married to my sister, and he is one of Britain's top basketball coaches. It's as simple as that. And I can't stand it. And we've had all sorts of toing and froing. Bear.
I heard there was drinking and drunkenness about.
Yeah.
I was literally sent a message with odds on for who falls asleep first, John or Daniel.
Hey,
don't mess me out.
Hey,
3-1 odds on me.
Bear, just so you know, I'm on opioids and have been drinking.
Congratulations. When will you be taking on the government?
Tomorrow.
Excellent.
It'll be easy because I won't be in their offices.
I'm glad that so many of you have joined me on an impromptu stream tonight. It's great. It's between 12:30 and 1:30 was horrific. It was when all the speeches were being given and all talking about how my father-in-law how much he loved his grandkids. And I was sat next to my daughter and she was bawling her eyes out, and seeing my precious daughter absolutely pissing out of it. I'm going to be nerdy here. Pissing out of her lacrimal glands.
Nice.
For an hour.
Okay.
It's something. I mean, I'm a dad. She's my daughter. She's my special girl, and seeing her suffer like that. She loved her granddad, and to see him. It's the first time that either of my kids have been to a funeral. But this afternoon has been lovely, because so many people came to the pub. We had 60 odd people there, just drinking and laughing and enjoying it exactly how my father-in-law would have enjoyed it.
Beautiful.
So it's how it should be. It's exactly how it should be. So I'm drunk. Who cares?
No, really? Couldn't tell.
See, I told you you don't.
That's
You don't sound sober.
That's lovely to
went
hear.
out the wrong way.
That is lovely to hear. But I have an observation. Do you find funerals, weddings over here, that the efficient, reverent, whatever you want to call them, when they try and do the obligatory speech that they have to do, it's always the worst part of the thing?
Oh my God. At my mother's funeral, one of my aunts and I were sitting in the back pews trying to be away from everybody, and the vicar gets up, the minister, and he's like, I saw Anne just a few weeks before she passed, and she always had a good word for everyone. And my aunt and I just look at each other like, what is he talking about? My mother was a bitch. And then he just goes this amazing story, what a wonderful person she was, always had a smile, and my aunt and I are just laughing, and my sister's shooting us death eyes from the front pew because we're dying laughing because it's her sister and my mother, and we were the only ones honest about it,
Yeah.
To be honest, our vicar today was actually pretty good. He was Tom was he was a former Birmingham City season ticket holder when he could afford it.
What a
cunt. And he came down to my kids' football and he'd be shouting from the sideline, "Go on, kick him!" all the way through. And the vicar was well into that. He was also a Birmingham City fan, and he was just going on banging on about that all the time, which was right. That's what Tom was like.
Thank you, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, number 12. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for contributing to getting City sent down.
Wait, how did he contribute?
He has a 10% ownership stake in Birmingham City.
I
And
didn't know
again,
that.
it wasn't necessarily Tom Brady. So basically, they had an all right manager, and then they said, all right, let's replace this manager with Wayne Rooney and tell Wayne Rooney the type of football to play when Wayne Rooney isn't the cleverest person in the world.
No, he was a good footballer. He could play
Yeah.
football, but no, he's a bit of a mong. Yeah, Mercurius. You resent wasting your money, but you spend money on subs to my channel.
That's not a waste. That's a solid investment in entertainment.
Exactly. It's not a waste.
And absolutely here. This is the thing. A lot of people don't get about cricket. Is it's meant to be leisurely. You're meant to sit there, get there at 10:30, 11:15 in the morning. Play starts at 11 o'clock. You've got a beer. You enjoy your beer gently. Yes, you've paid over the odds for it. Who cares? 2 hours of play. You have a couple of beers. You get overpriced chips and another beer, and you just enjoy it. The sun comes out for 10 minutes in the afternoon because it's British weather. And then you get 2 hours play in the afternoon, during which time you have another couple of beers, and you're just there digesting these fat, sweaty chips and this shit pint of ale because the beer's just crap. And you just
and it's warm as well. A warm pint.
And then they have the evening sort of tea break of about 20 minutes, half an hour. Players come back out on the pitch, and if you're Edgbaston, which is my local ground, by this time everybody in the crowd is pissed up, and the last session at Edgbaston between sort of 4:30 and 6:30 is just carnage. It's just 15,000 people in the crowd chanting all manner of nonsense and throwing beer glasses on the pitch, and people dressed up as whatever, the Pope, Jesus, Mr. Blobby, Frankenfurter, whatever. They're just dressed up and they're drunk and they don't care, and it's just such a good atmosphere.
This is cricket, you say?
Cricket, yeah. There was a brilliant piece.
I think you neglected to mention one thing, John. Sorry.
What's that?
The rain.
The rain. Yeah. There was a brilliant passage of commentary at Edgbaston a few years ago when, in what's known as the party stand, where all the drunkards go, Edgbaston, there was a guy dressed as Jesus, and he'd got a beach ball, and he managed to lose it onto the pitch, and the whole stand were chanting to give Jesus his ball back, and the stewards were ignoring him, and this guy dressed as Jesus was standing by the edge of the pitch, shouting about he's getting his ball back. And then these the conga, where everyone sort of dances with their hands around each other's waist, do when we do the conga and all that sort of stuff. Various people came dancing into that stand in all sorts of fancy dress, and a group of popes came in doing the conga, drunk as skunks, all shouting to give Jesus his ball back. And then eventually the security staff gave Jesus his ball back, and it was mentioned on all the commentary around the world. It was England versus Australia, whatever, and all the commentators were really happy because they were focusing on Jesus getting his ball back, and the whole stand just erupted in an applause for all the popes, all these pissed up blokes dressed as the Pope who were supporting Jesus getting his ball back.
Well,
that is cricket in a nutshell. It's just it's just knobheads getting drunk, getting dressed up, and chanting and singing and having a laugh and not caring.
There's ever a term for a fan of a sport to be a yob, it would be cricket.
Absolutely. Hello, Isaac Braden, Elohim, risen Christ. What's good? It's bad to say what's good, but I've been to a funeral today. It was my father-in-law. He was a lovely guy. We've had a lovely drink this afternoon, had a laugh, and I'm in good spirits now because we've got all that shit out the way. My wife is relaxed again. She's been stressing for the last 2 or 3 weeks after he passed away, and she gave a speech and at the funeral, and I've never seen her speak in front of more than 2 people, and she spoke in front of 60 odd today, and it was her dad who'd passed away. And fair play to her. Fair play. How she held it together, I don't know. I'm so proud. And now I'm pissed, and I don't care. Right.
Thankfully, this is the good kind of pissed.
It is. Well, this is how I am when I'm drunk. This is the thing. You get people who are aggressive drunks, who are miserable drunks, or sleepy. I'm just a happy drunk. I'm just a silly drunk.
Yeah, you're the chatty type.
Giving you a diagnosis, like my dad always used to say that I was born 2 pints too sober. And that might be a similar, like, I'm not a medical doctor, nor was my dad. My uncle was, but he was then convicted of molesting his patients, so he's not a doctor anymore.
That's not a good thing.
Anyway,
I mean,
moving on.
Still, the knowledge doesn't go away. He's still a sports specialist in injuries. He just is not allowed to deal with people. Thanks for paying for my dad's funeral, Uncle Carl.
Thank you, Uncle Carl.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know what point I was going with that.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. Actually,
you said something about 2 pints too sober.
Yeah, thank you, Iman.
No problem.
You know, I think maybe that is a nice way of saying some people are on the spectrum. After a couple of pints, you become almost like a human being.
Thank you, Gingerbeard. I'm almost like a human being. That's wonderful.
What? My dad used to say about me. Sorry.
No, I think there's an element of truth to it. People who are a bit more socially awkward become "quote unquote" normal after a beer or 2.
With all due respect, gentlemen, I spent a lot of years as a bouncer. I have a very different perspective on this. Most men tend to think they're about a foot taller and 70 pounds heavier if they get enough pints in them.
Oh, enough.
If they have enough, that's
them,
different.
You're dealing with them at the end of the night, but 2 pints. I know the human condition is you can't stop at 2 pints. You keep going, but 2 pints.
But the level that you get to at 2 pints is like, holy shit, you're a normal human being with you actually interact normally now.
Oh no, it's lovely about the midpoint. The midpoint's absolutely brilliant. People are lovely, they're charming, they're funny, they're engaging, they're great. And then
I
4 or 5
points.
It's well, now we think we're Chuck Norris, do we? Okay.
I stay in the midpoint. That's the thing. That's where I stay.
Chuck Norris. I haven't heard him be referenced in so long.
Did anyone, given the age range of the people who go on Yo Geeks videos, did anyone buy any of those Chuck Norris trousers that used to be advertised in comic books?
Oh, stretch jeans. I always wanted those thick jeans, man, with the spandex patch.
What, that was a real thing?
Oh, yeah.
So they were jeans that would like stretch to allow you to do a Chuck Norris fucking high kick.
They basically had a denim blue spandex patch sewn in the crotch. I always wanted those.
Yeah.
Right, shut about Chuck Norris. I've just found out. There's a Mafia game I'm playing in, and for some reason the arseholes have killed me.
For some reason,
bastards.
What a bunch of twats.
Oh. It says here, in an act of supreme kindness, perhaps even love, the poor neutral president, I was neutral, was put out of his misery. His alliance with the 30th president of Earth has come to an end, and during the night he was flattened by a particularly fine fembot.
Oh.
Thank you.
What did I tell you? Neutrality in Mafia games is a losing man's game.
The thing is about that game is I had to try and find the other neutrals, and if I found one of them, I'd get their win condition. And they all opened their hearts to everybody on the first day to say, I'm neutral. And I'm like, oh, it's made my job really easy. But then one of them got converted to good, and I was like, oh, bollocks. and I ended up having to take on a win condition of a neutral player who had a horrific. He had to get the most votes throughout the game in order to win,
But
so
without being voted off.
Without being voted off. So I took on his win condition, as in he had to get the most votes. It was like, bollocks.
He had to get them, not you did.
Yes, he had to. Yes.
That's confusing.
We were trying to organise a day in playing a Mafia game where he got loads of votes, and I suddenly dived in and took votes off him and sacrificed myself.
Wait, so your win condition wasn't adapted to you? It was just his win condition, but on you?
Yeah, it was bollocks.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. Oh, speaking of Mafia, though, by the way, you just reminded me of what we're doing tomorrow for the stream.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
This.
Do you think I've thought about streaming tonight? No. Do you think I thought about streaming last night? No. Do you think I thought about streaming?
Wait.
No.
You can just edit that sentence and be like, "Do you think I've thought tonight?" No.
No.
Or in
This
general,
ties
do you
in.
think I've thought about streaming and just leave it at that?
I do sometimes.
Very rarely. Saxius gives you all your talent topics.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
No,
But the
fuck
thing
him.
is,
he gives him all the boring topics. I can field questions to you right now. This next question ties in with what Imana's just asked you. So, in terms of the Friday night stream, let's face it, Joe Deaver is a hack, and Livingstone and what the fuck's his name?
Jackson.
Oh, Steve Jackson.
The British one, not the American one, are the true writers of Choose Your Own Adventures. Do you have any interest in moving back to Fighting Fantasy, or even any other Choose Your Own Adventure thing for the Friday night stream?
Yes. I've been in touch with somebody through Reddit who has written a Call of Cthulhu 1,000 entry solo adventure.
Nice.
Wow.
That'll keep you going for a few months.
Yep. As soon as we've got to at the end of book 5 of Lone Wolf, that's what we're on book 4 now. That's as soon as we get to the end of book 5, that's what we'll be playing, and we'll give it a go. See how it is.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey, Daniel's
I just wanted to let Bear know I'm not sleeping. I'm preparing dinner.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure. I thought you went off and found a place to have a nap so you could try and win the bet.
Daniel's a star cook. Daniel's a star cook.
I took my nap earlier, so now I'm preparing.
We should all find our way around to Daniel's house. I mean, if we can avoid being mauled by his dog or shot on the way to his front door, we'll have a great dinner. Because
mate, his dog is a giant pussy.
What state do you live in, Daniel?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, so he's not allowed to have a minefield there, so we're safe on that approach.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got up.
Apparently, Daniel has a minefield unlabeled. Gentlemen, be careful approaching Daniel's house.
Well, I do. It's my dog's turds in the front yard. That's my minefield.
Oh, it's a green minefield. Well done. You're part of the
when I come to Canada, if I book a flight on the Monday, I think my plan is to book a flight on the Tuesday and come back on the Tuesday, and for Mage to take me into Toronto and to Niagara.
You got to see Niagara if you're going to be here, man.
Yeah, not Niagara, but on the Wednesday, Thursday, just see a few sites. Then we'll play games. Then we'll stuff ourselves silly on the Monday or Tuesday afterwards, and then I'll get a flight back. But if I was to come on the Monday and hire a car and drive down to Pennsylvania,
no, no, it's a hell of a drive. That
would be cool.
It'd be a hell of a drive.
I know it's a hell of a drive. I don't care. I love driving.
You drive all the way down there, see Daniel, go, hi, Daniel, and then immediately drive back to Toronto so you could make the flight the next morning. Like you would have like a minute to say hi.
No, we could meet in Salamanca at the casino.
How far is that from PO?
It's about midway between me and Buffalo.
Okay. So hang on. What's the name of the place? How do you spell it? Salamanca.
Salamanca.
What state's that in?
That's in southern New York.
So New York State. Okay. Let's just check for fun. Salamanca, New York. All right. Salamanca on the map. Give me a second, gentlemen. So the drive from Toronto to Buffalo is a few hours.
That's an all-day drive.
Yeah, and then from Buffalo to Salamanca is going to be, what, 3 hours, 2 hours?
Yeah.
3-4 hours? Yeah. You're looking at about an 8 to 10 hour trip to get to that point.
We could meet on the U.S. side of Niagara Falls because I don't have a passport, so I can't go into Canada.
Now, when you get to Niagara Falls, John, what you're going to do is you're going to look and someone's going to point at these falls and you're going to go, wow, those are really nice. They're very interesting falls. And then someone's going to say, turn your head to the right. And you're going to turn your head to the right and you're going to see the Canadian falls and giggle at what the Americans call falls. I'm telling you, it's insane, the difference.
I'm looking forward to it. We've got nothing like that here.
But John, if you want to do that, we'll have to
talk about that. That
would be cool.
Cheddar Gorge is peak.
I've never been to Cheddar Gorge because it's named after cheese.
All right, I gotta go link dinner.
See you, Daniel. You will so you'll be at Niagara Falls. Daniel will come and give you a suspicious package. You'll move back into Canada. You might have to fight some Mounties. Fuck it. Who doesn't?
Yeah. I mean, come on, Mounties, take on my black belt. Okay, they're on a horse. They probably got guns and
If you Ippon Nichi or whatever the name for judo throws is, if you throw the Mounties across the border, they will just explode into pieces.
Do you know what the martial art of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police is? The RCMP's martial art is, John?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Jiu-jitsu.
No way.
They all do jiu-jitsu.
Then I'm fine if I'm stood up because jiu-jitsu's shit at taking people to the ground.
They're not trying to take you to the ground, John. When they get hands on, no.
They're trying to get the shackles out of you.
Have you ever noticed how Canadians are when it comes to violence? We're just the nicest people in the world until the violence starts, and then everybody goes, "What is wrong with them?"
When I got my black belt, I fought a guy who was former European champion at no-gi jiu-jitsu in my black belt grading, and I'd fought him in a tournament before. He was a black belt at jiu-jitsu, European champion at no-gi jiu-jitsu. So you went to the ground with him, he would kill you.
Mm-hmm.
All I had to do to beat him is to make sure the fight remained stood up.
Yeah, but you're not fighting one Mountie, dumbass.
Okay, yeah, I know.
And they have tasers and guns.
Okay. Yeah,
I've seen Archer. I know what the Mounties are like.
And they don't wear bright red uniforms to alert you of their arrival.
Okay.
Actually, you want to know a really weird piece of trivia? Do you know who owns that? The Canadian Royal Mounted Police have to license the rights to wear their uniforms at parade formations from Walt Disney Co., who owns the international rights to that look because of Epcot Center.
That is sad. That is desperate. That is
insanely sad. We had them on our $50 bill for a while. I don't know if we still do, but we had the parade, like an art of the parade formation. And there's a rumor that the Canadian Mint had to pay a premium to Disney for having that on the $50 bill.
Wow.
That is desperate. I'm sorry. That really is desperate.
Well, no, it's just because we never thought to trademark the look of the Mounties, and then they did at Epcot Center, and we kind of went, hey, we were using that. And then we wrote them a sternly worded letter like we do if we're not at war. We're just, hey, that was very unkind, and you should really be a nicer person.
But in case you don't know in chat, this guy I fought was a former professional MMA fighter. And to get my black belt, I beat him.
Oh, yeah. I have friends who are really big into Planet Jiu-Jitsu. BJJ, they're onto the BJJ, and they think they're the most devastating humans in the world. And I said, did they teach you exactly how to disarm a man who takes a nice big bite out of your quadricep? Is that a part of your training? Or when someone puts a thumb in your eye, did they teach you that in your class? Probably not. So stop thinking you're so badass.
In our fight,
Do they teach you how to take a punch to the face? Nope.
In our fight, there was none of that allowed. It was quite simply, I wrestled him to the ground and dropped him flat on his back. I can't remember the throw I used. It was either Oso to Gak or Koso to Gak, because those are the hooks I was good at. And I just hooked the back of his leg, forced him backwards, and dropped him flat on his back.
Did you shout out your attack like an anime before you?
Then everyone sat there for 20 minutes waiting for you to power up.
Exactly. Yeah.
I took my regular right-handed grip, got a dominant top right grip on his shoulder, and as soon as I got that, because I was thing is, for a little guy, I'm strong. I'm not the most agile, not the most coordinated, but I am physically strong for a little guy. And I basically got hold of the top of his shoulder, wrenched his gi off his shoulder, forced it back, and hooked the back of his leg, and took him down.
Nice.
There you go. And that's how it works.
Yeah, in a tournament fight, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Judo's a sport. Judo's a sport. It's meant to be a sport.
Yeah.
We're trained for it to be a sport. We're taught adaptations of it to use in the street. But the vast majority of what we learn is a sport.
Yep.
So
Same thing with Taekwondo.
Yeah.
I did a lot of Taekwondo, and it was really useful for cinema. It was really useful for stunt fighting. It looks great on film. Useless in a bar fight.
I'd say Judo's probably a little more useful in a bar fight.
Yeah, probably.
But you've still got to get through that initial flurry of drunken nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Because Judo's only useful when you're on the inside. You've got to get that close grip. So if someone's flailing stupid drunken fists and feet at you and broken bottles, you could be in trouble if you don't avoid it, block it. But if you can get into their face or underneath their shoulders or get them off balance, brilliant. You've got to get that close.
I'm looking at pictures of this Cheddar Gorge, by the way. It's quite nice. It looks pretty. And it's still like a postage stamp compared to Niagara Falls.
Oh, no, I comprehend that totally.
Like, I had never seen the falls until I was in my 30s, and even I was gobsmacked when I saw them. I was like, "Good Jesus Christ, that's a lot of water."
Mr. Baker, yes, tits. Great for kissing and cuddling, but fuck all use for fighting. Absolutely, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Tits are wonderful.
If you think Niagara Falls is a lot of water, just wait till you see me take a piss in the morning.
Funny.
Well, actually, Bear, you can be sarcastic. I was going to transition to a drunken yog. I'm trying to keep him on track.
Go for it.
With questions. And this ties into something you are doing. So, superheroes yog.
Yeah.
Sci-fi or not sci-fi?
Not sci-fi.
Okay, so it's something you'll do.
You know who my favourite superhero is?
Banana Man.
No.
Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu.
No. I didn't read a lot of Marvel, but in the 80s I started collecting the Secret Wars series.
Okay.
And there was I don't know why I had this affinity with the X-Men.
Because they're outcasts from society. Possibly.
But Rogue.
Nice. Rogue's my favorite female superhero.
I think she's fantastic. I thought she was a great cat. I thought she was a great character in that series. I thought her superpower was difficult but powerful and awkward and interesting. And I thought she was fantastic.
Constantly shout at my wife, "Don't touch me."
Absolutely. I thought Rogue was superb.
You should read Avengers Annual number 10, which is her first appearance. It's quite good.
I've never heard of it, so
I'll send you the PDF because you're my friend.
We don't endorse piracy on this stream.
What are you talking about? I'm not pirating anything. I rightfully purchased it and I'm gifting it to my friend.
All right. Okay. All right. Intellectual property lawyer. The reason that The reason that I ask you that is obviously our friend Bear here is in the process of launching a superhero game. So would it be something? I know that you. I know we always talk about this, that you want to live stream games and times don't align. But would it be something, Yog, that you would consider like running Bear's superhero game on your channel as a live stream?
Running, no. Playing, yes.
Okay.
I've backed it. I've backed it.
Yes, you did.
I'm getting a print copy. Sorry, Bear. I need a print copy. I'm
All
crap
good,
with
brother.
PDF.
All good.
And I will play in a game if it's a time that I can make. I don't hate superhero fiction.
I didn't say you did. It was basically because superheroes are a weird middle ground between sci-fi and fantasy that it's
They
just
truly are.
you know.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there, man.
And I like the X-Men because they are this underground superhero colony that can't quite announce themselves to the world because the world don't trust them. At
I
least
love
in
it
the
how the
80s.
X-Men are like, the world doesn't trust us. We're hated. And then they're just playing basketball for a whole fucking issue whilst I'm
That was
guessing
never the case, though.
New York is
Yeah.
being smashed by apocalypse or whatever. It's like
That was never the case in the comics I read. That was the thing. It was. I mean, I read the Secret Wars. I read a few bits and pieces from X-Men, and I rather enjoyed the fact that they had to keep themselves a bit tucked away. They couldn't be like Captain America and I'm a big hero and all that sort of stuff. They had to be selective about how they did it. They had to be intelligent about how they attempted to do what they were doing, because they knew that the world hated them. And as a result, I bonded with the X-Men. I like them. I like Cyclops as well. I thought Cyclops was cool.
Cyclops was my favorite X-Men.
Yeah. He was a good guy, and his power was quite simple: blasting these beams out of his eyes, and he had to wear these glasses to stop those beams blasting out because he knew they were dangerous. He was a good guy underneath it all, and yeah, it was a good.
Yeah, no, it's valid, and I think that is a good take on, because again, growing up in the 90s, everything was like, oh, Cyclops is fucking boring, Wolverine's cool. Cyclops' eye blasts, do they generate heat?
No, they're kinetic force.
Yeah, exactly. They're kinetic force, but it seems to elude some comic writers.
Yeah, there was a comic where they had a writer had him bounce his eye beam off of a mirror like it was a laser, and I'm just like, I'm 14. I'm like, bullshit. Nope.
And also, how badass is Storm?
Storm suffers from Batman syndrome, though, which is that every writer is in love with her, so they try and make her more than she should be.
Well, not every writer, just Chris Claremont.
Well, Chris Claremont, if the character
Storm,
had tits,
I fucking Dracula would fall in love with Storm, and Storm is the greatest thing ever, and blah blah blah. It's just like, oh man, don't give a shit anymore. Like,
I like Storm. I mean, I obviously haven't followed comics for the last 25 years.
No, you shouldn't. They're garbage.
I mean, I read through Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2. It was as simple as that, and that's how I know. That's what I know the X-Men from, and I thought Storm was great in those.
Yeah, she wasn't being written by Claremont. Of course, she was written quite nicely in those ones. She was written as a competent person, where in Claremont, she's the goddess from Africa.
And of course, I had my. If I show you over there, my. Oh, where it is? Oh, it's down the bottom. Down the bottom.
I see the yellow.
See the yellow, yes. But I've got things like Cat's Paw, which is the X-Men module down there, which has got Storm in it, and she's awesome in that. She's got great powers, but she's interesting. Her powers are interesting. She's interesting. Rogue's powers are interesting.
So here's a fun one for you. Rogue's powers are the ability to absorb other people's powers and memories, right?
Yeah.
But she permanently absorbed Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers' powers, which is why she can fly and has super strength and invulnerability, which is in that issue I gave you, Avengers. Ironically, my favorite female characters are Rogue and Miss Marvel. So not the current bullshit, but like the old school stuff from the 70s and 80s. So that was just like, wow, they're all one person now. Later, they did a story late in the run where they were being tortured, and Rogue broke down, and Carol Danvers' personality came and took control of the body to get them out of the situation. So it's like Captain Marvel Rogue teamed up with Wolverine fighting all these assholes in Genosha, and it's really good. Like, it's such a good read because, man, that's a badass.
That sounds awesome.
Well, the thing is, for me, the only bit I really know about Marvel lore was when Captain Marvel was the black girl with the afro.
Oh, Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau, yeah.
She was amazing.
She was great. She was the most powerful superhero in the starter adventure for basic Marvel superheroes.
Yeah.
And she was great. And she was great in Secret Wars and all that. So I don't remember the Carol Danvers.
Yeah, no, Carol Danvers. So the Carol Danvers story is really simple. You have Captain Marvel, Marvel of Kree, who comes to Earth and then falls in love with Earth and decides he must protect it from his own empire. She's the military advisor that's working with him, and a device where the beta whatever blows up, and she becomes infused with Marvel's powers, and that's her story.
I was going to say, don't mention the whole Kang saga thing.
Where no, God,
gives birth to her own son after being raped by him.
This is why Avengers Annual number 10 is so important. So in issue 200 of the Avengers, John, they wrote a story where suddenly Carol Danvers is pregnant, and she gives birth to her own child, which is Marcus, who is supposed to be the son of Immortus. And then they find out that he had taken her to his dimension of limbo and used his machines to make her fall in love. And at the end, she happily goes off to limbo with him. And everybody was like, what the fuck is this? What is this story? What the fuck? So Avengers Annual number 10 is Chris Claremont setting the record straight. And it's really well done. That's why I sent it to you. Give it a read. You'll really like it.
Okay, well, I will do. I've seen you've sent me the message, so I'll when I get a chance, I'll read that.
Plus, it's got Michael Golden art, and Michael Golden was an amazing artist.
Just an observation. You guys are coming for a very Marvel referencing background.
I'm actually a DC fan.
Oh, thank you.
I've never read a single DC comic in my life.
I used to hate you, Bear, but now I hate you less.
Oh, well, thank you, Gingerbeard. I appreciate that. It's nice to be
here. The thing was, the selling point that everyone always says about like Marvel is like, blah, 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 Spider-Man, he is, kids growing up, Spider-Man, he's kind of approachable. It's something you could be.
Yeah.
Growing up, I liked Batman, maybe because I had an absentee father, so I didn't want a hero who was someone I could relate to. I wanted a hero who basically could be my dad.
Sure.
It was a bit of a twat, you mean?
Though Superman was much more the father figure, but that's neither here nor there. We won't get into that argument.
Superman's a very Jewish parable, so
shit. But that's okay. I admire that since it was written by Jewish immigrants and it was about the Jewish immigrants in America. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole because that's a very dangerous rabbit hole to go down.
I learn something new every time I talk to you guys, I swear.
Well, there you go.
That's some insane ramblings.
My problem with Marvel has always been this line they use. It's the world outside your window. And it's not, because I don't recall us going to the Latverian tea room and then booking our trip to Genosha and, all this other bullshit. It's like they're just as bad as DC for making up fake places. You know what I mean? And we all just need to stop trying to pretend one is guilty and the other's innocent. Marvel fans are weird.
Can you all just behave yourselves for a moment? Because unsurprisingly, I need a wee.
Well, you go wee, and we're gonna misbehave while you're gone.
Oh no, we're gonna burn down the house.
What's that line from Firefly? I aim to misbehave. Well, now I feel left out. I'm gonna change my picture to my fantasy character too, because man, you all have yours, and mine will be playing tonight in Cody's game. That'll be fun.
What time is that?
8 p.m. Eastern time. So when you're well and goodly asleep from all your cannabinoids.
More because I have to be up for work at 7:30. But yeah.
What do you do for a living?
At the moment, I can't say on stream.
Wow, gigolo, huh? Good work if you can get it. I guess.
What is the vaguest approximation of what you do for a living without doxing yourself on stream?
Yeah, if it's anything to do with human trafficking, just say nothing.
It is to do with humans. I will. But
You're a butcher.
What? What? I work in education, shall I say?
That's nice. I was a teacher for 15 years. I get it. Education can be rewarding. It can also be the most trying of your patient's skill you'll ever have to develop.
Yes.
Probably, yeah. I was going to say, yeah. I was going to presume it's the latter.
Well, it depends. I mean, everyone seems to think I'm cool, so that's all right.
It depends what age range you teach. Like, oh yeah, a bunch of 5-year-olds
currently
think I'm cool.
Currently with 6th graders, year 6.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna think you're cool. I mean, come on, that's easy.
Yeah, all I have to do basically is not be a dick.
Yeah,
that's it. You're cool.
You have a vague reference of the terminology they use. Know what no cap means, and you're good to go, right?
Yeah, know the young people's lingo. How to be hip and down with the kids, yo.
Yo, I'm naughty by nature, yo. You're the man now, dog.
Nice.
It's so funny, you know, because I feel like when other teachers try to be cool, that's what they're like. But when I'm cool, it's just because I'm actually cool.
Bullshit.
No, because so I go up to the so I'll call them like mate or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Because I think that's down to like you're very afraid about gendering anyone, so you just call everyone mate.
No. So all the boys get called mate. All the girls.
I'm not calling you out on it because when I was a university lecturer, I did the same thing. Like,
yeah.
You know what? Actually, that is something that I'm worried about. Like, if/when I do come across it, where I misgender someone or mispronounce someone.
So it's fine if you call everyone mate, regardless of gender. Then you've got a track record of just being you.
Yeah.
In Eastern Canada, we have a simple one too. It's buddy. It's just listen, buddy over there. So buddy was waiting for the bus, you know, like that type of thing. And like, is it male? Is it female? That's up to you to decide. Works wonderfully. Halakar, I studied Taekwondo, and we also learned Ryukyu Kempo, which is the origin point of Taekwondo. I also did Hungar, Wing Chun, and Shotokan. I've done many martial arts, sir.
You did Hungar?
Yeah, I did Hungar. I did Hungar right in his hillbilly ass.
Shit, but yeah.
Hungar Kung Fu.
Ways a lot of things.
Is that where Hungar got his name from? Or
no, he gets his name from hunger. Hungar gets its name from China.
Okay.
So while we're vamping for time, Bear, please advertise your superhero role-playing game.
No, that would be déclassé to do that.
It would be déclassé if I didn't tell you to fucking do it.
Here's the thing. My country stopped listening to your country a long time ago. Now we just have quite...
Wait, when did you guys listen to Norway?
But actually, it's Norway Day tomorrow, by the way. So everyone should have a champagne breakfast and celebrate Norway Day.
You're Norwegian?
No, I'm not. I'm British, but my wife is Norwegian. I'm like Walter in The Big Lebowski. You know, it's like gotta represent Shabbat, dude. and it's like you're actually not Jewish.
So now you and Iman need to do a road show where he's Donnie, right? Shut up, Donnie. You have no frame of reference.
I can't tell Iman to shut up because he makes more sense than me usually. But
I mean, I don't know how true that is. It depends how much I've smoked.
fair dues. But no,
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'd be lying if I said it doesn't affect my brain. Of course it does.
Actually, in regards to pimping, which I won't do here today because that's wrong. We did get a
Do
write
it.
up on World.
Man, we've told you to do
All
it.
right,
It's
calm your-
acceptable.
Listen, I'm a ginger too. Calm your tits.
We
Gonna fall off. We got a shout out on N-World today, which today or yesterday, well today, and that fuck suddenly got 5 new backers out of that. So I was quite chuffed about that.
Nice, man.
We have more than our fair share of gingers on this.
Yeah,
in
well,
this
you know,
group, to
remember
say
the
the
rule:
least.
only a ginger can call another ginger ginger.
Yep.
Never forget that.
It's all right, Iman. You can just say that you're sat there like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
No. It's fine. It's fine. Well,
You've been good. Have you been good, chaps?
Nope,
Only
we've
a
been
ginger can call another ginger ginger.
incited
I heard. Were you being
But the thing is,
controversial?
anymore, John is only half ginger.
yes, we were being so controversial. We were talking about misgendering people.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And
you're gonna get me cancelled.
It came up naturally in the conversation. I suggest we just drop it right now, and move on to pestering John about various topics.
Yes.
So that means a dwarf
Pester me about
can't
what the hell you want,
identify
I
as an
don't
elf?
So
Hey,
why
John,
are
we
chat
didn't-
arguing? Why are chat arguing now? We've got
Because nobody's watching this stream. Like, that was a joke. I don't know if people are actually watching the stream.
what
People aren't here for us. They're here for the chat.
What the hell does this mean? FR on.
For real. It means for real. On God.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
my daughter sends me crap like
Let
that.
me translate the youth lingo for you.
Why is Coco now talking about 12 to 14-year-olds? I'm getting really worried about.
Oh no,
Coco teaches high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has to deal with all that crap, like the little symbol.
And if you've seen Coco, he plays in one of my games online.
Yeah, I've seen Coco. Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Coco's is a fucking Chad. You know what I mean? Like he's built like a fucking brick shithouse. So I can imagine these fucking teenagers being real respectful to him.
I mean, I would argue he's even a Giga Chad.
Okay.
But
I'm just wondering what.
Is he a Giga Chad? Well, he did have to skip something to deal with horses, so I would say that's probably Giga Chad territory. Yeah.
I mean, I've just had a very, very large wee, which I've emptied about a pint of liquid from my bladder. Gone and fussed my dog because she's beautiful, and then got myself a nice bowl full of leftover food from today's funeral with food in it. And I've come back, and I've seen chat are just talking about juveniles. Hey, I'm not your buddy, pal. I used kiddo and gingers, and you're quoting Ginger song. So
and you're eating.
Yeah.
Sorry, crisps.
Can I ask, sorry, John, was your dog concerned, being like, he doesn't normally show me this much affection?
No, my dog doesn't care. My dog just does not care. You give her affection, she'll be like, I've got affection and I love it. She's wonderful. She's a 12-year-old spaniel. Anyone knows anything about spaniels? They are wonderful people dogs.
I mean, they're not lurchers, but they're close.
Oh, we're in trouble now. Fuck's sake.
Why does everyone treat Saxius like that? Like, every time I use the spreadsheet in the RSC game, it's like, oh, you know, you're almost like Saxius. And it's like, Fuck
Like
off.
that's a bad thing somehow.
Sax, am I
No,
the only person
it's
who
not
really
that it's a bad thing
appreciates you as a
somehow,
human being?
but he doesn't have the trademark on doing stuff that I do. Like,
Oh, right, I see.
it's Norway Day tomorrow. He's just a fucking Danish knockoff.
Hey, yo, wait,
Hey,
that's 1/3 of my ancestry you're shitting on there, Gingerbeard.
How can you tell? How can you tell the fucking difference? Like,
Easily. Oh, you don't know? Here, I've explained this. Sax has heard this, and I'll explain it to you. This is how you tell the Vikings apart. The Norwegians are the ones you send in when you need everybody absolutely fucking murdered and killed and raped. The Swedes are the one you're spending most of your time going, are those geet fucks going to betray us or not in this one? And the Danes are the ones who went, if we could find a way to make money out of this, it would be really good for all of us. I have a pamphlet I'd like you to read. I wrote it myself.
Hey, to go back a few moments about gingers, we have yet another one.
Yep. We're taking over, baby.
Yep.
8% of the population, 100% of the world. Woo! Oh, fuck, the sun's out. We'll do it tomorrow.
yeah, but seriously, thanks to a lot of, historically discredited Irish slaves, which never existed, there were a lot of ginger slaves.
Yeah.
That people can say didn't exist because they died in the fields and never got the chance to breed because they were ginger.
Not when they're
wait, so where does this ginger strength come from then?
They were the perfect slaves for the Scandies. There's no sun up there. It's perfect. No,
not
Henry
there.
is eating the sun. Put the gingers to the field.
Not there, but when people were looking to expand the slave franchise, like it's a football franchise, to North America, it's like, take some Irish people. Fucking potato famine.
Do you ever hear Russell Peters' bit about the Indians as slaves? Indians as slaves. He's a brown Canadian comedian. He has this brilliant bit. He goes, I just can't see my people being good as slaves because they'd be like, all right, Rajapur, go pick that cotton. Okay, no, how about this? You go pick the cotton. I call my cousin who has textile mill in Bangladesh, and we make T-shirts, sell for profit. It's just like, yeah, there you go.
No, yeah. So how many drinks are you in, John?
Too many.
Not too many.
I mean, this is now Southern Comfort, so I don't care what I'm on now.
What is your snack bowl containing, John? Because to me, it looks like pork scratchings.
No, they were sort of like these potato crisp, spicy corn things.
Doritos.
They weren't Doritos. No, there was some other brand. But I've also had some. I had a couple of jam tarts, and now I've got a Bakewell tart as well. So, yes.
Does anyone know why it's called a Bakewell tart? Just
named after a town in Derbyshire called Bakewell.
That sounds like pub quiz knowledge speaking right there.
True.
Why is it called this? Well, let me tell you. After 17 pub crawls and many a beers, I have learned through deadly intoxication that this is why.
In 1541, what? What are we talking about? Like, no one was alive then. Shut up.
Stop quoting me when I'm drunk.
In 2024, I punched you in the mouth for being a smartass while drunk. Shut up. There you go.
Just like John, I need to go for a massive piss. But I'm almost tempted, Bear, if you have the quick rules of your superhero RPG game to hand, to get John to roll up a character and see how close he gets to Rogue from the X-Men, his favorite superhero character.
Well, John should have the Me Back the Backer kit, so he should have 3.1 PDF.
Because I think he'll get nowhere near, but if he gets closer than Palladium Fantasy would give him, then that's a win.
I generally ignore PDFs that get sent my way via email and just wait for physical copies to arrive.
That's what fucks the tax man up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I haven't read any PDFs. Sorry, Bear. I know you've
It's
been
okay. I'm not
really,
insulted.
really
Can-
busy.
Can you walk him through in his drunk state?
It would probably be a chore that I'm not in the mood to participate in, to be quite honest. I had an alcoholic mother and I worked as a bouncer and a bartender. I have a very, very particular relationship with drunk people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. It's all right.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting things that came out of today's funeral is my wife's lesbian cousin.
Covenant.
The covenant of witches.
Nerd just perked up like a fucking beacon. She was like, "What? A lesbian coven? How do I join?"
My wife's lesbian cousin has basically said to my son when he turns 18 this Christmas, so he's about 7 months away, she'll take him on a pub crawl. And it's a pub crawl that I've done. It involves 17 pubs. You're meant to do a pint in every one. And that's the way she's going to christen him to being 18 years old.
So is that where they got the story for At World's End? Or The World's End, or whatever the fuck it's called?
Yeah,
they
that
changed
movie.
the rule. I thought in England you could start drinking at 16.
No, you can drink at 16 if you're with your parents and you're having a meal.
Oh, interesting.
I thought it was 14.
No, 16.
So that fucking Madness song lied?
Yeah, I thought it was 16. You can purchase it and you'll drink under supervision. I didn't know there had to be a meal involved.
In the Channel Islands,
there has to be a meal involved.
You can drink at 16 if you're a local.
In Denmark, it's are you old enough to buy it? Drinking it ain't our problem.
Here, it's you have to be 18 to buy a pint and drink it in the pub. But if you're with your parents and having a meal, you can have a drink.
You're allowed 16. 1 unit, I believe, right?
Yeah,
something like that. But he'll be 18 in 6 or 7 months, and they're thinking of taking him on a pub crawl to celebrate his 18th birthday. Him, my wife's cousin, and her girlfriend. And I've done that pub crawl, and it's awesome. And we were discussing that tonight and how sick people were when they were.
No, I presume.
But it's almost like in your area, it'd be a rite of passage to becoming a man, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
I presume in the UK it's like here in Canada, though. Like, yeah, you can legally go at 18, but you start drinking at 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, most people do. I mean, what? No, not at all.
Inshallah.
My lad's been very sensible. The first time I ever really sat down and had a beer with him, and I mean, his mates are quite good kids. And it was during the last World Cup. There was a World Cup game on. I came home from work with a few beers, and I just cracked open a few cans, sat with him on the sofa, and we watched the game in the World Cup with a few cans and had a lads chat about girls and beer and that sort of thing. And it was wonderful. It was really nice to have my lad. He was about 16 at the time.
All right. Get back to the lesbian coven. Come on, man. You can't bury the lead.
No, this is nice. This is wholesome.
I don't want wholesome. I want lesbian witches. What's wrong with you, Ginger Beard?
We're talking about lesbians?
Yeah.
How did you miss that?
I
want to say that, like,
I was finishing up dinner.
Yog, I know you're in kind of Walsall area.
Yep.
When my family used to run a pub around Wheelie Castle, they, because this is difficult in the UK, this whole thing, and I'm not blaming Weatherspoons. I used to work for Weatherspoons, so Weatherspoons are good in certain respects, but it means a lot of non-Weatherspoons pubs are just being eroded away, and traditional pubs in the West Midlands and probably up north as well, Iman, you'd kind of have 2 rooms, wouldn't you? You'd have the main bar room and you'd have a function room at the back.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds right. Yep.
The pub that my family used to run around Wheelie Castle, one of the things that they'd make money off renting the function room at the back was the fucking local Brum pagan society. And I remember one of my uncles thought it would be fucking hilarious because the local Brum pagan society is just a bunch of people sat around talking about boring fucking pagan shit. He thought it'd be hilarious.
All right, are we going to summon Satan tonight?
Yeah, basically that. So my uncle thought it'd be hilarious to just strip off naked and run into the middle of that. Because, you know, that's what pagans should be doing. They should be naked and fucking dancing around in the function room of a pub. It
Guys, I want to try and commune with the dead.
Yeah. It did not go down well, but, you know, there we go.
That's probably an understatement.
You were talking about Wheelie Castle.
Yeah.
That's Wheelie Hill area, isn't it? Wheelie, sort of that area.
Yeah. All around Wheelie.
My biggest score at cricket came against Wheelie Hill. My only century at cricket came against Wheelie Hill. I love the place. 102
What, just for that?
Yes.
You don't have to live there. It's
I
fine.
scored 102 not out with the bat, and I'm. If you baseball types, can you imagine the worst batter ever, who's never hit anything in his life, who's an absolute cabbage with the bat, who swings and misses everything. I scored 102 against Wheelie Hill. That is the equivalent of home run after home run after home run.
Cool.
Is it like how England can't ever beat anyone, but they beat San Marino like 100-1 every time?
Yeah, exactly. And I just went whack, 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 whack everywhere. And I retired tired because I wasn't used to it. So I was used to getting out within the first 10 balls.
And yet you were whacking off everywhere.
I'm whacking off everywhere, absolutely. Am I wearing a tie? Look, David, I am wearing a tie. I've been to a funeral today. And I have been really drinking. I've been heavily drinking this afternoon, which has continued into this evening. I'm still drinking now. Cheers! Have some Southern Comfort.
I would like to share something with you.
Skål!
Skål!
I was taking a piss, and all I heard was this loud, incoherent screaming coming out of the computer. And by the time I came out, like, well, Joker's shown up. And no, it was just Iman doing whatever pub voice he was doing. But Jesus Christ, that you scared my cats, man.
What? Oh, when I did the Birmingham impression just there.
Holy shit, dude! Literally, my cats went running by like they.
I'm so sorry. Hey, that means I must be good at accents.
Or being loud and terrifying, one or the other.
You're like, oh, what kind of
Well, that might
abominations are
also
we
be
hearing?
my audio quality as well, to be fair.
Well, I'm done work for the day, so the camera can go on and I can see your face. Love this vape, John. You were right. This is the best one.
They're fantastic, aren't they?
They're amazing. Fantastic. Absolutely astoundingly good.
Listen to me. I know the subject. I've been working in the industry for 6 years.
All right, going down there, no way. All right then, jeez, Paul.
Right. Anyway,
shall we talk about? I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, hey,
shall we talk about something gaming and controversial?
Sure.
Saxius, no.
Saxius is gaming and controversial. No, he's not. Listen,
how are you? I haven't said hello to you, Saxius, tonight. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, you have said hello. You said hello when I came in.
You did.
Oh, I can't remember.
That's right.
Hey, did you guys hear about what's going on with the D&D 2024?
What, with Greyhawk being picked as the default?
Yeah.
That, but if you read that whole article, they talk about what the books are going to be like and what they're doing. This is going to be like a 350 page book.
Wow.
It's going to be massive.
What the fuck are they going to do with Greyhawk, though?
Oh, it's going to be in the DMG. It's not going to be in the core book, and it's going to be a sample setting for people to use in their games, eh?
But okay, it's a sample
It's
setting.
another money
Good.
grab is what it is.
Good. Sample setting. Good. Are they going to suggest people shoehorn things like tieflings and dragonborn
Of
into it?
course they are. That's where the money is.
Well, they can fuck off then. That's what I'm
Right up the model village.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right up the... I don't know. Well, I haven't even gone through like my first edition World of Greyhawk, what's it called, box sets. I just have it. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
It's meant to be-
Yolan, the Queen of Selene, is going to be able to change her gender based on the season. That's what's going to happen.
No, and no.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
The elves of Selene are xenophobic assholes.
Not
much
anymore.
like-
They're going to be very much diverse and embracing of different cultures, and they're going to really, really respect the human community that lives within their boundaries.
I look forward to reading
Selene
about
was-
my naval-bound dwarves. This will be great.
Selene was so much Lorien in D&D. That was the
I
thing.
know.
Yeah, of course, if you don't play it, they'll ruin it for you. But they'll also call us old gits, assholes all the time, and have a go at us for chuntering and saying, "Oh, Greyhawk's this now." And as soon as we say, "Well, no, Greyhawk was really good. It was this," they'll say, "No, you're just a bigoted old git." And they'll.
Well,
be like,
I'm
"Wow,
gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what they do, as opposed to try and predict the future through a lens of negativity and bitter old manness. But you do you.
Look, I have the right. I have the right to be a bitter old man
That's all right.
It's in the Magna Carta. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm drunk and I'm old, and I've buried my father-in-law today. So
that's
there you
fair.
go.
All right, that's fair. But you only get 48 hours of that before you're not allowed.
Yeah.
to use
I mean,
He's got to milk
credits
it.
will run out tomorrow night. Look, I'll milk it till tomorrow night. Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
You fill your boots, sir. You do what you got to do.
Yeah. So
That's fair enough. No, let's see what they come out with. I mean, I don't have high expectations. I mean, hell,
no, because Wizards of the Coast are notorious for absolutely destroying existing IPs.
I agree.
Well,
But I'm
yeah.
curious to see.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see if they're going to make Greyhawk a viable alternative to the Forgotten Realms, or just the Forgotten Realms again.
Of course, they're not.
No, it'll be. That's all they're going to do. They'll copy the Forgotten Realms.
We'll see. I can't see the future.
The thing is, when I ran, my campaigns were all in Greyhawk. I did not like Forgotten Realms at all. But then they switched over to Forgotten Realms, and you're kind of like, okay, guys, we can play old stuff, or do you want to try the new stuff? So, yeah.
That's all right. I mean, I much like Elfbeat, I predominantly just made my own worlds.
Yeah.
And it's like that's just as easy. I mean, I understand the reasoning why someone would say, like, okay, well, let's pick up Forgotten Realms. Why? Because you've got booklets upon booklets upon booklets of stuff that is pre-made for you. It eases up the work for the DM's perspective. You know, even the players can buy some of them and get read and educated on the world. Everyone's on the same page. I can't say I can get into that because I'm a workaholic. There is nothing more delicious than just sitting and going like, let's write out 20 pages of background history. Let's set up the infrastructure of this world. Why do we do this and so on? And unfortunately, Bear has started something in my head, which is, yes, you asked the question of like, how do we generate out, how a village and how big a village has to be before they have blacksmiths, cobblers, these sort of things. And it's a question I have actually been muddling over my side, because it's like, well, there are a number of systems I know that I can use to just streamline that, to not make it that damn complicated. So
you're welcome.
I did like his point of view on that the other week whenever he brought that up. That was
I'm gonna bring up nerd's comment. Every single table that has ever gone to Greyhawk has made their own version of Greyhawk.
Yes, they have.
Because Greyhawk is wonderfully balanced between having its own feel and having enough space in it to create your own world.
Yes.
But Greyhawk has these predefined expectations. If you study the regions of Greyhawk, you will see how human-centric the whole world is.
Yes.
You've got Selene, which is xenophobic elves. You've got Ulek, which is xenophobic.
Which one? The county, the duchy,
Oh,
the
various.
principality.
You've got dwarves, you've got gnomes in Ulek, all different communities. And if you look at the human places, Ket, for example, is the Ottoman Empire.
Yes. They're a nice mix of Western and what are they called? The guys on the other side of the mountains.
The other side of the
Sumish.
Something like that. But they were lovely blend. They feel like Ottomans. They feel like early Turks to me.
Do they? Because I thought they used chariots. Didn't they use chariots? And I always thought that made them a little more Eastern.
Perenland is Switzerland through and through.
Yep.
Because it is this it's an enclave in mountains that is just stays so neutral. And Valuna is the Holy Roman Empire.
Okay, what's Furiondi?
Haven't got a clue.
So this is interesting. If you ever see Baron de Rop's video where he does the geopolitics of Greyhawk and he just explains how everything works, he makes a really good point. He goes, given the terrain they're on, where they're located, and how their river systems works, there's a very good case to say the Furiondi are horse lords. And that struck me as so fascinating because they have knights, but imagine if they're horse lord knights. Like then you get a little bit of that Rohirrim thing going on, which is really kind of a fun addition.
But that just shows Greyhawk was a mishmash of various. It was historical influences. It was fantasy influences. It was mythological influences, all brought into one. But each kingdom had its own feel. There were distinct kingdoms.
Correct.
And that was great. It was not the melting pot that is the modern day Forgotten Realms.
Well, it's because, the Sword Coast is the American West Coast. That's what everybody forgets. Therefore, Waterdeep is Seattle. Where is WotC located? Seattle. Yeah. So what are they writing? They're writing what they see outside their window. They're writing what they deal with when they go out for their boba tea and all that fun stuff. And as a result of that, they've alienated it and made it non-fantasy. They've turned it into fucking woo-woo. It's just insane. It makes no sense. I like Greyhawk because Greyhawk is more gritty and grounded and dirty and underhanded, and they didn't forget parts of it. Like, what are the Forgotten Realms? Everything outside the Sword Coast, because they don't talk about them. They don't do fucking material on them. You know what I mean?
And Greyhawk had that grounding in history, and you saw bits of familiar fantasy in it. It had that familiarity to everybody who picked it up, which was good. And it made it so malleable for what we wanted to do. Look
at that! Even Drunky can talk gaming. Look at that! Isn't he impressive, guys?
Yeah. It had the right amount of
just thinking that.
It had the right amount of lore and the right amount of gaps. So WotC, don't destroy it. Don't be dickheads with it.
I'm not giving it the benefit of the doubt. I'm taking a wait and see. Sorry, go ahead, Daniel. I apologize.
No, I'm going to say don't destroy it. What's the phrase? Shit in one hand, wish in the other.
See which piles up first?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, at the same time, I secretly hope they're going to destroy Mascara just so that they can feel the fucking pain, finally.
But, I mean, the thing is, Mr. Baker, here, once this is something I never realised. Once you get to a position in the YouTube sphere, the Twitter sphere, whatever, you have a voice, and I never thought I'd be listened to. When I started doing my reviews, I thought I might get 50 odd people watching my reviews and whatever. I'm now up to 1,850 something. I'm not as big as Bear, and I'm not as big as other people or whatever.
I'm not that big, bro. I'm only at 2K.
It doesn't matter. But we have a voice. And we have a responsibility, and I've learnt that. And even though I don't agree with all of the old guard regarding what's the right way to play D&D and which version of D&D is best and all that, I'm very much a case of play the game you enjoy. My perfect version of D&D is a mixture of AD&D and OSE. Well, AD&D and Basic, which is essentially OSE Advanced. I love it to bits. But it is this mixture between the two. And if I was to proselytize that out onto the internet, the old schools would probably get pissed off with me because it's not true.
Dude, it's but this is the way it is. My ideal D&D has a little bit of 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, and even 5E.
Yeah.
Has some BX, it's got mostly BX, but it has all these other ideas that I think are good evolutions of the game.
Absolutely.
And they fucking pillared me on Dragon's Foot when I dared to say that.
Oh yeah, I got torn to bits on Facebook whenever I mentioned ideas of changing things of D&D that I like. I'm going to change this because I think that's a bit dodgy. I'll change this, and then on Facebook and Reddit and wherever, and they were like, "You can't do that," and I was like, "Why can't I?"
Stop me. Try.
Stop me. Exactly.
Come to England.
And I suppose the only thing that matters is what you and the people you game with think. Correct. Correct if you are focusing all your attentions on your own group, and the vast majority of people will be doing that, focusing their only attentions on their own group and making sure that their players just have a fun game. But when you've got a channel that's grown the way mine has, the way people like Mages has, Legion of Myth, Bear, all the people we sort of hang around with, we do have a little bit of a responsibility. And unfortunately, I say unfortunately, slightly tongue in cheek, because when things happen, it provides us with traffic, and we do lean into it a little bit because the traffic boosts our channel. But when things happen, people do want to know our opinions. People follow us for a reason. We're seen as being voices in this gaming world. And I don't class myself as a great role player. I don't class myself as a great DM. I just class myself as a gamer. Yes, I know a fair bit about old AD&D and the old adventures because they were my thing. But beyond that, I'm just another gamer.
Agreed.
And that, and it doesn't matter what we think, but we do have an influence, and we are expected to give our opinions from time to time. And if something comes out which I have a strong opinion about, I'll give my opinion, because that's what the people who watch my videos expect from me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to just say that if anybody's listening to me and thinks my opinion's worth shit, they really, really, really need to expand their horizon of people they listen to, because
I've gone to therapy over you, Bear.
You got a therapy
Dude.
over me. God
How
damn.
the hell do you think I feel?
But I tell you what, Bear, Saturday night's Palladium game was fucking magnificent.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I loved it. It was fun. We had a good time. I love that people were like, "Oh my god, what a twist!" It's like, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was genuinely fucking incredible.
From my own perspective, I went into that thinking, I want Devere to come of age a little bit. I want him to start learning from these experiences. I sent you that letter, which gave you the hint that he sees himself as being, he admits to being a bit cloistered.
Yeah.
I admit, for the first hour or two, I was pushing to try and get that letter sorted out. I was trying to, I wanted to get that done. And I wanted to get a chance to read it out, but I want to you and to all the other players, I had that opportunity to take stock of how he's thinking, and make it all feel organic. How his mindset is evolving. Yes, he's going to be an awkward sod in future in future sessions, but he's going to soften, and it's going to be gradual. It's going to take time, but I hope people will like what he becomes, and I'm thankful for everybody for giving me that chance to bring him to the fore. And here's Cody, brilliant Cody. I've watched that. I sat today before we went off to the funeral today. I sat and watched about 2 hours of our game because I was up early. I was ready in my suit and everything. I put it up, and I didn't really take that much note at the time, but Cody gave me so much to bounce off, so much to work with, and I can see the bond between Laurel and Devere starting to mesh, but it's going to be difficult. There's going to be little sort of cat fights between us.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's going to be a key part of the game going forward.
Hey, what I want to see, Iman, I'm talking to you. I want to see you engage more, and I want to see your camera on. I want to see you stop vanishing from the game and then coming back completely lost. Please, brother, I'm begging you. You've got so much you can do with this character, but if you're constantly not at the actual game and you're off dealing with stuff, it makes it very hard for you to even be part of the whole scene, right? You got to focus your time as best you can. I know you got shit going on, but just try harder, please. Please.
Well, I mean, part of it is my shit Wi-Fi connection. There's only so much I can do about that. But yeah, like with, I am here. Just, even if I'm camera.
But it doesn't feel like you're here. That's what I'm saying. It feels like you're gone. So try and be more engaged. Try and be more present. You'll get more out of it. Sorry, Gingerbeard.
Playing this story game.
Yeah, you can shut on silent. Go play with your minute, guys. Go play with yourself.
I don't understand how dungeons work. I'm just, I gotta feel your vibe, man.
The thing is, Gingerbeard,
how much mega damage does your character do in Palladium Fantasy?
None.
The thing is,
no mega damage in Palladium Fantasy.
The thing is, with my character in Palladium, I've controlled what Devere thinks and whatever, and I'm trying to bounce it off what Bear's coming up with, what Cody's coming up with, what Iman's coming up with, what Max is coming up with. And I don't feel as though I've been story gamed into anything so far.
I'm not saying you're being story gamed into anything, but you guys sound like you basically should just be playing the Baron Munchausen game where you tell stories. And
why is what we're doing not allowed? Is it wrong fun?
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's wrong fun. It's maybe the tyranny of fun.
Well, for you,
thank you, Gabo.
For you, that's your tyranny of fun. Fucking going 10 feet by 10 feet with a stick tapping stones is the tyranny of fun for me.
I enjoy that. As well.
See, that's the thing. We all do what we enjoy.
I'm not criticizing it. I'm just putting aside.
But you kind of
another opinion.
You're kind of making fun of it. You're kind of being dismissive of it.
If you're in the chat and you're sat there listening, thinking like, "What the fuck are these guys about?" You're not alone. You're not alone.
And if you're in the chat thinking, "Wow, grognards are sticks in the mud, aren't they?" You're not alone. It's both sides are valid, man. It's just whoever plays what they like to play.
Again, I'm not criticizing it. I just thought I'd interject with just an opinion.
That's where the happens.
Mr. Baker, I don't know how long you've been married for, Mr. Baker. I've been married for 22 years.
What
do you think? What is it? What is it? Does it exist anymore? Does it happen anymore?
I've been married for 11.
Have I been married longer? Have I been married the longest out of everyone in this?
Probably.
In this panel at the moment. Yes.
I've eaten more wedding cake than you have, though.
Daniel probably talked to more divorce lawyers than he has too.
Yeah.
Daniel, I look like I've eaten more wedding cake than you.
Yes, you do.
There you go. Nerds Nerd hit it perfectly on the head. Everyone older than me is a grumpy old grog nerd, and everyone younger than me is an RPG tourist. Beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
correct. That's correct.
The sad
Which,
thing
which
is,
side? Which side am I on? How young are you?
oh man, you've been sucked into the story gamers. So the sad thing is,
Fuck.
given that conversation with Bear, like, you know, I should be a grognard, but I am younger and have more luscious hair than the vast majority of you.
I don't know,
Luscious
mine's
is
pretty
a
good.
strong word. Existent would be the word I would use.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Gingerbeard, we're conventioning in 2 weeks, aren't we?
Yeah, actually, it's worth giving a shout out. So for the regular OSE game, the majority of the British existing DMs will be away. So, you know, Daniel, if you want to follow up on your adventure, then fine. Slan will probably still be around.
Okay, wait. Go back one
Bear in
moment.
mind, it'll just be you and Slan and it might be Omanal, because me, Gingerbeard, Gene, Iman, and whoever else is coming are going to be at Games Expo.
All right.
2
So,
weeks.
what date are we talking, and what time slot?
Saturday, the 1st of June.
It's the early time slot for you. So,
Yeah, I'll make a note of that.
yeah.
That works. That gives me time to, relook my notes and all that.
Well, I mean, as we're saying, like, it might just be you and Slan. That is one thing to shout out. If you're watching the channel, you haven't joined the Discord, by all means, please join the Yale Geek Discord. If you are sat on the Discord and you think like, I don't know if this RPG stuff is for me, then there's a mix of games. So I'm being a dick. I've been a dick to Bear, but like that's just, as we said, my philosophy about running games. There's enough scope for everyone to find the game that they are interested in and that feels supports what they're looking for in terms of what role-playing games mean.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
At the moment, there are 3 regular games going on. We have a Call of Cthulhu game every Tuesday night, and it is quite storified for those who yeah.
If you like your detail, there's plenty to sink your teeth into.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's not D&D. It's Call of Cthulhu. There's a lot more story elements. We're playing Horror on the Orient Express, which is a fairly linear campaign, but each episode has enough flexibility within it to create some interesting situations and some rather disgusting situations. Characters are dying and going mad. Our most recent one is Andy's character gaining himself a blood phobia, which is really not a good thing to have when playing Call of Cthulhu. He's now scared of the sight of blood.
And he also had a temporary bout of he thought it was raining blood.
Oh, he thought it was raining blood in Venice. Yes, he did indeed, which was lovely.
It was nice to see someone else suffer with insanity for a change.
But with that particular campaign, you're on a train, quite literally. You're on the Orient Express going from city to city. But
so, would you say it's quite railroady?
Well, you're on a railroad, yes. But the thing is, you stop in each city, and each city we've played in so far, there's been quite a variety of ways of playing it, and there've been side scenarios that you can trigger. So you've got that flexibility within each location to deal with things in different ways, which has been pretty good.
I don't know how much of it is down to the book and how much is down to John, but each place feels unique as well, as they would in real life.
Well, my pathetic Italian accent might help there because I'm appalling at doing Italian accents. So in Venice and Milan, it's whatever it's felt like. It probably hasn't felt like Milan or Venice. It's
don't restrain yourself to being appalling at Italian accents. You're appalling at most accents. To be fair,
my French accent was okay.
You should have heard mine and Manfred's French accents from the Dark Ages scenario.
Oh God, that was awful.
Like the most offensive you could be.
I think that's
my London one was fine, wasn't it?
What are you talking about, mush? You fucking cunt. I think that is the thing with especially British people, is that we have this whole pride that, and I think it's correct, that we have the most diversity in regional accents, but
Absolutely.
we fail to comprehend that other countries also have regional accents.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but ours are very
Come
different.
to the US.
I think we probably have the most regional differences of accents, like per square mile.
Yeah, Daniel says come to the US, and it's. I
live about 2.5 to 3 hours northeast of Pittsburgh, but I grew up in Johnstown, which is about an hour and a half from Pittsburgh. So I have a Pittsburgh accent, and I haven't been in Johnstown for, I don't know, we're going on 40 years, and people still say, "Are you from Pittsburgh?" It's city by city. Somebody from Buffalo, you can tell. The U.S., it's funny. It's city by city. It's not even region. Yeah, everybody has a southern accent. You can tell if you're from, like, I don't know, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana.
Oops.
What have you done?
Whoops.
What have you done, you silly old bugger?
It's kind of funny that way.
Do you know what, though? I feel like the UK still beats it because I can go literally, 10 miles down the road and the accent's completely different.
There is that, too. In the US, it's kind of...
it's still northern, but it's different northern.
So, yeah, but, like, you've got to, like, look at the scale difference as well. You know, the United Kingdom is the size of Florida State. So it's a lot more compact in that sense, whereas the United States, it is a continent in comparison. I mean, just out of interest, I did look up, the most linguistically diverse countries, and the United States is at number 5, just, again, because of the sheer scale that it has. So while it's more densely done in the UK, where, hell, I can go from where I live here, near Radstock, and I can drive over to Bristol, and the dialects and the way people talk will change radically. But that's the UK because it's so densely put together.
Radstock to Bristol, the common denominator is everyone still fucks their mum.
Oh yeah, that's just the southwest. But it's no different than when I was living in the southeast. When I was living in Suffolk, I was just like, at least we're not as inbred as the people up north. It's like, you're not setting a high bar here. Like, you're actually putting it lower. Like, it's going into the ground.
The real inbreds are the ones in Norfolk. The real inbreds are the ones in Norfolk and on the Isle of Wight.
I was going to say, yeah.
Man, fucking
Up north, fine.
Take care, Bear.
Hey, Gingerbeard, aren't you from Guernsey?
Yeah, I'm from the Channel Islands, so I was going to say, like, Channel Islands represent. Here's my fucking.
Thank you, Bear. Thank you, Bear.
No, I'm joking. I just said, how many fingers do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, grief.
I'm joking, obviously.
Yeah,
but the UK, we just take the piss out of each other for all various things.
Yeah,
but again, all countries do. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Saxius, we have no context for this, but I'm presuming wherever you are from in Denmark, like the next region over, you'd be like, oh, that village, you know, fucking raped their mums or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
no, like
those guys.
not like we joke quite a lot in Denmark. I mean, hell, once you start like talking to a Danish, I mean, you know as well, Ginger, when the Norwegians like, oh, what do you think of the Danes? They're like, oh, just Southerners.
Oh,
Fucking
the whole accent things, like in Scandinavian countries, you guys, it like transfers one on the wheel every time.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's funny. But you know, absolutely. Like in Denmark, where my dad's from, my mom calls him basically a bumfuck or a peasant. Like he like really like from where he's from, like it is supposed to be like the dirt of the dirt. Like you are absolutely no one. You farm pigs, you tend to the crops, you don't amount to become anything. Whereas my mom's from the capital, meaning that she's supposed to be a city girl, and I'm from the capital island, which means that I am meant to be posh. And
you're from Copenhagen. You're from, is it Zealand? The island?
Yeah, I am from Zealand, the capital island. I'm not from Copenhagen specifically. I am only 40 minutes north of Copenhagen, but I have the Zealand accent when I speak Danish. And any Dane, the moment I open my mouth and start talking, they immediately go like, okay, that's a Zealander right there. They know exactly where I'm from.
Do you sound too much like a Swede? Is that what it is?
No, I do
you're
not.
You're close to the Swedes in Zealand, aren't you? You.
Oh yeah, no, like, but that's where we did all the fighting. You've got so Doof is from Skåne, which is the south part of Sweden, which used to be ruled by Denmark. They still have basically the Danish flag, but instead of the white, it's just made yellow.
And you're not bitter at all about that?
I am very bitter about it. I am on a regular basis.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell.
I wake up every day, look across the water, it's like, there they are. Okay.
You live in Britain nowadays. You don't know. You're lying. You look across the water and you see whales.
I know that's a mistake. Looking across the water. No, so yeah, I've just gone full Viking. I've moved over here. I've married an English woman. I own English land. I take English money. Like honestly, I'm just repeating history at this point.
Danegeld again, isn't it?
It is just Danegeld. They pay me to behave.
Gingerbeard, your missus is coming, isn't she? To
Oh well, I'm not within touching distance, so I don't know if she's coming. But yeah.
Will she be here for games, or is she just going to be chaperoning you, make sure you behave, making sure you behave?
No, it's the opposite way, because I think I've said on stream before, she doesn't drive, so I am the one driving us to Games Expo. So she can have as much fun as she wants. I'm the fucker who has to stay sober and drive. At the same time, one of the managers from my work is also coming to Games Expo.
Oh.
So, you know,
in your car as well.
No, he's doing his own thing. He has been coming to Games Expo for many years. So him and his wife basically book the what's the hotel that's next to Games Expo?
Holiday Inn.
The hotel Posh.
Yeah, Holiday Inn, Hilton. I think it's the Hilton.
Okay.
They book the Hilton a year in advance because they know they're coming to Games Expo. So they will also be there. So it's going to be an interesting confluence of, Yog Squad, my wife, guy from
good
work.
Name for us.
Yog Squad. Yeah. Does your missus drink?
She has the capacity to drink because she's not driving, but she doesn't generally drink unless it's a special occasion.
So is it not a special occasion that she's going to meet myself and Andy, who is going up by train, who's also a bit of a nail fan like me? And there is there is that Weatherspoons just above the Games Expo, just up on the concourse.
I know there is, because we sat there and you drank pints and I drank pints of Coke last time.
Absolutely,
so,
yes.
She, she might drink. Who knows? But it's not,
Ginger's wife come for a pint with me and Andy.
Basically, you guys can just like play clips of all the times that I've been on stream and slated her, called her useless, and we can see where it goes. She'll probably end up drinking.
In fact, Andy's ears must be burning. Andy's ears must be burning. We're talking about the possibility of having a beverage at Games Expo with Gingerbeard's wife, me and you, Andy.
Andy, come and join us.
I mean, yeah, you're more than welcome. You're welcome. I mean, I'm drunk tonight, so yeah, just come in and join us. Tell us about the game you've run tonight. I know you won 5th edition, you heathen, but hey.
Oh, leave him be. The more people we get into this hobby, the better, because then we can convert them backwards.
Well, precisely. That is the
exactly.
job. And that is Iman. As we worked out a week or two ago, that it's Iman's job to do that on our behalf, isn't it? Because he is that crossover. He is that crossover between us and them.
I'm sorry, but do neither one of you go out into the streets with a tranquilizer and just
no.
find players that way?
No.
None of you just go out with big nets and like butterfly catches like you are coming into this game.
I can bring them back, but they're gonna need to go to the ER because they're gonna have gunshot wounds.
I think we're gonna have to switch up the bait. We might have to use those Animu wife pillows. That'll bring them out.
It doesn't have the same effect. You get the wrong crowds.
But talking about wrong crowds, I am a bit concerned, YouTube algorithm man, that you were telling the most Islamic-looking member of our group to go out and convert people in the street. It's
that's not actually what he said.
Well, the algorithm could misconstrue it as that. So
it's definitely not that algorithm. Don't worry, we're all nice people here. I promise.
I don't think John said anything that tied anyone to anything aside from just go out and convert people, catch them, bring them in.
Iman, go out into the streets of Bradford and convert them to the cause of not story gaming. Don't get them to play Bears game. It's fucking bullshit.
And after go be like, yo, bro, listen, have you heard of Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah.
The thing is, those of you who've been berating us about story games or whatever, look.
It was me.
It was you. OSE is not a story game, no matter which DM is running it. We're just running OSE. You go into dungeons and you find shit and you come out. Simple as that. My MERP game isn't a story game either. It depends on who you talk to and whatever. You've got the freedom to do whatever you want in that game. But the Call of Cthulhu game is slightly story orientated, but that's how Call of Cthulhu tends to work.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the expectation, like Call of Cthulhu.
But also, it is sort of down to how much the players investigate.
It does. We've lost Saxius. Saxius has departed. But as Saxius departs, we get Andy.
Oh, I thought it was magic.
Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, Andy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the YouTubers was doing funny things when I saw to this computer. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Andy.
Some filter you put on Saxius so his gingery beard turned white eagle.
Haven't you realised that I'm never on when he's on, and he's never on when I'm on?
yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever seen Batman and Bruce Wayne in the same room? I don't think so.
John, can you add what date was that? June
The
June
1st of June.
1st.
Yeah,
It was at
my son will
first
be able
Saturday.
to play too. So if they can
First
leave-
Saturday in June.
yeah,
First Saturday in June, Daniel.
if you want to throw that on, I'll run a game there if anybody wants to join.
Absolutely. Well, cool. You go for it. And to be honest, we might be able to all join at the same time on one phone while walking around and bringing by.
Nah, man. Got to be smashing that hot dog stall.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I'm a mobile user. That's nothing new to me. So
the thing about MERP, Mr. Baker, is it runs a lot more fluidly online than it does at the table because a lot of the calculations are handled by Roll20, which is rather nice. There's a good character sheet in Roll20 which does it all for you. And I have all the sheets pre-printed in front of me anyway when I'm running it, so hopefully it goes a bit smoother. But it's a bit of a pain. It's a bit of a pain. But yeah, Halakar goes back to what we mentioned earlier, lesbian witches.
Dude.
Oh yes, your lesbian coven.
I want a video of that.
Andy, I meant to say lesbian cousin, and I said lesbian coven by mistake. But no.
His speech has sort of stopped slurring by now.
My speech has tidied up, hasn't it? I am sobering up. I mean,
well, we need to fix that.
Nothing can get rid of the West Midlands accent, so.
And I just have 1 pint of boondongle. That's all. So.
I've had 6 pints of Wainwright and a large red wine, and a large red wine, and I've come home and had some Southern Comfort as well. So
there you go. That's
there
my
you go.
boy.
Makes me smiley.
Yep.
I'm not too bad. I'm just smiley.
So we were talking about UK Games Expo before that.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's about when I came in, I think. And I
Yes.
just happened to see the stream and I thought, I'll watch. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is the title of the stream still funny?
I haven't corrected any spelling mistakes. I'll tell you that now.
Good.
Okay.
UNwise too many beers streamer thing. Thinhgs. Yeah.
What? you know, I haven't looked back to see what it said. I just typed it and pressed enter.
Seems reasonable.
What does it say? I don't know.
So it's capital UN and then wise. Too many beers. Strema, so STREMA, and then
or is it
Thinhgs.
Is it too many bears?
CHINHGS. There was something about too many bears when I first got on, yeah.
Hold on, it was meant to say unwise, too many beers, stream.
Yeah, I know it's meant to say, but that's not the point. Yeah. Excuse me.
It's meant
You
to
might
say,
have,
I would say unwise, too many beers, stream things. That's what it's meant to say.
I think you should leave it. Just leave it. It's amazing.
Okay, sorry.
And then you'll always be able to look back on this day. You'll see the title and be like, I remember that day.
You might have story gamed it to mean what you thought it would mean. If you're playing Palladium fantasy rules, but
I don't care. What the hell? I've just seen the description underneath. Hehe, wife's dad had good send ofrf. I've caught the caps lock, haven't I? I had inebrAITED. Coime for chat 5S. I am sorry. I am very sorry. I have sobered
Don't
up a
be
bit
sorry.
since. Oh yeah.
It is what it is.
Leave
It's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
It shows what kind of spirits you're in, though.
Yeah.
Or what kind of spirits are in him, yeah.
Yes, also that.
JD.
Oh dear. I've got work tomorrow, or I have lost a subscriber due to this stream. You know that?
Really?
But it was within the first 10 seconds. So it's
They were
nothing.
probably a
Was.
cunt. They were probably a cunt to begin with, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, To be fair, when I was pressing Bear about his superheroes game, I would have unsubscribed as well.
Yeah. You unsubscribe, and I won't care. Won't give a shit. Go on, fuck off. Fuck off.
I'm not unsubscribing. I'm not starting my membership all over again. Forget that. I've got 5 months invested.
Oh shit! I was trying to do a Saxius and keep things on topic, so I made a list of topics to ask you.
I
We've
saw
done
the
Go on,
topics.
We've done
Go on
the
then.
game books. We've done the. I've written OSE brackets. Fuck Bear. Your videos, where you go through White Dwarf or Dragon magazine.
Yeah.
Have you any plans to expand them into, I don't know, Dungeon, some of the niche British scenes that are around at the time? I know you hate the word
No,
scene,
actually,
but imagine
Were they around in
Arcane.
Were they around in 1979?
No,
I
it's
can't-
going to
I
take
can't-
you
no.
a long time to catch up chronologically. But
There's your answer.
all right, okay.
I think
I'm going chronologically, as you say.
You'd love doing Challenge magazine. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, Challenge is a good one. What about Warlock?
Never heard of it.
It's the
What is that? The fighting fantasy one?
Yes, thank you, Iman.
Yes, yes, I
Fighting
finally know
fantasy.
something.
Yes, it's the Fighting Fantasy magazine.
I like
Did
your
that exist in
suggestion about
1979?
Dungeon. That would be cool too.
I've
A
never
dungeon.
read a single,
That would be
edition
cool.
of Dungeon.
What's the thing? Like, if you're doing them
You okay, man?
Time order.
chronologically,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
If you're
now
doing it,
it's pretty bad when a guy that's on hydro and vodka can actually out enunciate you. That's pretty bad.
Angus
You must be
is
getting a contact drunkenness.
Angus is
Yeah, Gingerbeard. Consider yourself told.
I'm just bagging on you.
Angus is fucking dead next session that I DM. No, I get it, like John, that you are going chronologically, but it's just flagging early that there are other magazines, other zines that you can potentially spread out to.
2 points here. Zine is a horrible word.
I know. I said that you fucking hate zine.
But he
And
uses it.
the other point is, I do plan to chronologically branch out when those magazines appear on my radar. At the moment, I believe it's just White Dwarf and Dragon because it's 1979. If you can think of any others I can do, then I'll do them. I'm not fussy. I'm a whore. I'm not fussy.
Excuse me?
No, it's fine. It's just my, every viewer here on YouTube will have their own time that they got into Dragon or White Dwarf.
Yeah.
For me personally, I don't have life left to spend to wait to you to work through to get to like White Dwarf 123 or whatever.
I'll be dead by then.
Yeah,
I'm afraid, Gingerbeard, tough shit. Because I'm going through bit by bit. Mr. Baker, one thing I do want to say, Mr. Baker, aren't you British?
I think he is, yeah, because he sent some pictures of the Northern Lights in Bear's Discord.
If you are British, Mr. Baker, are you coming to Games Expo? And if not, why the fuck not?
it's very
Yeah,
harsh.
even I'm doing it, and I never leave my house other than work or shopping.
Precisely.
Or at least the shed, yeah.
Still on the ground.
So, Mr. Baker, I'm putting you under pressure now. If you are from our Fair Isles, get your arse down to Games Expo and join myself and Andy and Gingerbeard's missus for a pint in the NEC's Weatherspoons while the others just watch because they're driving. Ha ha ha! Sorry, and spend some silly money with us.
It's all right, Gingerbeard. You'll have a smoking partner.
I mean, I smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke special cigarettes.
But I also smoke cigarettes.
Okay, cool.
So, so Mr. Baker, do it, book it tomorrow. Come and see us, join us, have a laugh.
Do it.
I think actually we've built up a good crowd. Mr. Baker, I hope you are in the UK and you can join us. It may be worth capturing our reflections on our different journeys to Games Expo so that then we can make a choose your own adventure out of it and force Yog to play it on a Friday night.
Yes. Do it.
You are stuck on Spaghetti Junction. What the fuck? That's only
IQ makes his way down from the northern wasteland.
Yeah, that's only if you're coming from up north and it turns into a Car Wars type adventure. If you're coming from south, you don't have to deal with Spaghetti Junction, so fuck that shit.
You've got to deal with that shit on the M5 towards Bristol. That's awful.
Actually, like, I'm from Andover. Like, I'm past Bristol, but I don't have to deal with Spaghetti Junction. Like, I'm in the perfect place.
And I'll be on the train, so.
What that is you choose your own adventure. That will be the starting thing. It's like, do you drive your car or do you take the fucking train?
Saxius has a truck. Saxius has a truck stuck at the English-French border. As long as you don't put it on a dinghy, I'll be happy.
Spoilers in the collective choose your own adventure. If you take the train, you will lose.
Yeah, that's quite right. Zine is just showing the lack of muscular strength and endurance in the tongue to say a full word. Yes, Gingerbeard. People who use it must be terrible oral sex. Yes, Gingerbeard.
Yes.
Okay, I've been slamming people all night, so I probably deserve some verbal beatdowns.
You set him off now. You set him off.
I'm sorry. You see what whenever Halakar doesn't show his face on a stream, this is what he's like. He's that naughty child who lurks in the back of the classroom, who encourages other children to be naughty.
Yeah.
And as soon as he's in the spotlight, he's good as gold. But while he's lurking in the background, encouraging other children to be naughty, he's evil.
Probably off fucking other kids.
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say evil. I'd say he's more on the chaotic axis.
He's definitely chaotic. Yes, definitely chaotic.
But I'd say he's a chaotic good because he makes us all laugh.
Who's that?
Oh, Halakar says his teachers loved him. I was going to. Do I or don't I?
Halakar is probably the only person watching the stream at this point, so you know.
No, I'm back.
Do I or don't I say what I was about to say to this?
Say it.
Go ahead. Might as well.
Man, I just accused him of being a paedophile. Like,
oh my god.
Okay. I was going to say his teachers love him, and I was going to refer back to the people who use it must be terrible, awful oral sex. And all I was going to say was Halakar clearly never said magazine in front of his teachers.
That's some story gaming shit right there.
You know, tonight's watchers tonight have bounced between 6 and 15. randomly. We've gone up to 15, and then we've offended about 9 people. They've all fucked off,
Oh,
and then
well,
people have come back in.
Screw them. Honestly, I hate to see you lose people, but if they can't have a beverage or not have a beverage, but still joke around, then I don't care. Yeah.
Tonight's stream's not meant to be about gaming. It's just meant to be about pissing.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, you can't have this.
It's meant to be getting pissed, having lots of pisses, and taking the piss.
Yeah. Lots of PISS. Yes. You know what? It's had good viewers.
What's the thumbnail? Like,
there is no thumbnail. I do you think I could have managed to do a thumbnail when I was in the state?
It's the generic like that design.
Oh,
generic log thumbnail. Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to be a picture of you in your funeral suit, inebriated as fuck, with 2 massive thumbs up.
But only
got the
when
thumbnail,
it's
everyone.
like only when it's a sub bit of the thumbnail. Like,
hold on. You just keep talking amongst yourselves.
Oh,
I set him off on a train of thought.
Now, how do we keep vamping?
I'm sorry, because between memory, the drugs, and everything else, I am going to run 2 first. It'll be me, my son, and whoever else.
Oh, yeah. 1st of June. So we think that Slan will probably be around, but every British player will be at Games Expo. So
yeah, that's the thing. I know it's going to be limited because I think everybody's busy that weekend.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. Nothing else can be like last weekend, and everybody can just be yes for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Don't put pressure on yourself. It's all good.
But it might be a good time if anyone wants to jump into the OSC campaign. Jump in on Daniel, because he's a nice DM who won't just kill you like a lot of the longer
because he's new and he wants people to like him. He hasn't.
Well, no, I want to kill you. I just want to, like I tell my children, I build you up to break you down. And that's what it is.
No.
I tell my children, I said, I didn't have you to, raise a family and nurture you and make you grow up. I had you to do the shit I want to do, like mow the yard, clean out the litter box, and do the dishes. That way I can sit around and drink and talk to you guys while they're doing all the work.
Good. That's how it should be. Cheers, Daniel. I'm not sure what you're drinking. I've only got a little bit. I'm not going to fill up this
vodka with a ground up opioid and 7-Up.
Bro, I hope you. That's a bad cocktail.
No, it's a good cocktail.
Oh no.
Well, tonight's stream has had a lot of views, but not many people for very long.
I can't imagine why. I mean,
I think I'm guessing like Thursday nights is people are bimbling around. They're just like, what the fuck do I do with my Thursday night? Like, I'm not going to go out and get hammered. I'm just sat here flicking through YouTube. So there's maybe an attention draw there, but then they watch the stream and they're like, what the fuck are these idiots talking about?
Exactly. That's exactly what it
like,
is.
They've given Bear a platform. He's just a fucking story gaming cunt. Wants to talk to Big Man about how he's been a bouncer in Canada and fucked a million Mounties.
Tell you what, that Saturday game is great though. I'm loving it personally.
I also
enjoy. I will say now, I enjoy your game. I enjoy Gene's game. I enjoyed Daniel's game when he ran it. I enjoyed Slan's game when he ran it. Where is Slan tonight? Get your ass in here, Slan. And I enjoy my game when I run it. I'm not going to big myself up, but I enjoy my own game when I run it.
No, I'm just going to be straight up honest. Like, I think the resentment that I have towards Bear's game is not from a philosophical point of view about how you run a game. It's because it's taking you away from running the OSE game because you're busy doing stuff in Bear's game. That is
Okay.
I understand. You're jealous. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I'll be honest. That's totally 100% what it is, and we can hug it out at Games Expo.
Do you want Gerard Devere to die next session then?
No, I don't even watch the fucking streams. I don't know. I don't have a reference to what you're doing. I'm just saying, like, that's the root cause of this. We can hug it out at Games Expo.
That's completely understandable.
I'm a lot taller than you, so you know you'll be hugging into my nipple.
You're gonna get a titty rub.
Yeah. You
That is correct.
Yeah, you might nip on itchy, throw me, or whatever you do, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
One cool thing is, because I have my kids this weekend. It's split custody, but it's long days. And this is my week with them. And the cool thing is, my son actually asked who's going to be running the game.
Nice.
He's getting that into it. He wants to know who his DM is going to be so he can decide how he's going to run his character.
I think
I told him he could run it the way he normally runs it.
It's
but he wants
Gene
to know
this Saturday.
Yep.
I think it's Gene this Saturday.
It's Gene.
Yeah, that's what I told my son. I thought it was going to be Gene, and that's what I told him.
It's all right, son. You can play this week. It's not that asshole Gingerbeard who fucking will kill anything that moves because he doesn't believe in story gaming. He just wants to like kill things for no reason and make you sad.
I already told him that we have to roll up a set. Even though he has one, we don't have it written out, but I told him we're going to roll up another one tomorrow night.
I'm going to make an admission now. The week that we didn't have a game planned and we possibly could have played if we'd have had one or two more players on the evening because various other games were called off, I had the idea of running Palace of the Silver Princess, but butchered to fit my Yule setting with various things in the adventure adjusted. And I thought that might be entertaining. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a shit adventure as written. It needs work. And I want to see if I can make it better.
Oh, no, it's a totally awful pile of crap. It was just a money grab.
There were bits of it that are great, but there were bits of it that aren't. And I was just going to give it a bit of a tweak on the fly. I wasn't going to prepare it. I was just going to have the PDF open next to me and just change things on the fly as I went along.
I was running Dragons of Stormwreck Isle tonight. So
yeah.
Nice. I want to run Horror on the Hill, but I can't do the mapping part, and the wilderness mapping is such a pain in the butt, and I hate asking people to do it. That's my problem with that adventure.
Halakar until I fall asleep. Halakar until I go into zombie mode.
I think I'm going to beat John tonight.
Probably. I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to last because I've been drinking since 2:00 this afternoon. So,
well, I've been drinking. I've been drinking since. I won't tell you guys because then you'll call my therapist.
We'll call your place of work and let them know that you're drunk when you're turning up for work if it's breakfast.
Well, I'm off for at least a week.
How is your face, by the way? How did the operation go?
It went all right. I
must say, you don't look like you've been punched in the face, so that's good.
Well, no, I thought it was good. I I did start bruising right away, but apparently it went away. It doesn't look as bad as it should. I guess I have a good constitution.
Good.
Uh,
Your system shock is okay.
yeah, but it went a lot better than I thought it would. So now I get
Quality.
I get a checkup on Tuesday. I actually want to go back to work Sunday, but my wife is adamant it that I do not go back to work. I want to go out and work on the garden. She's like, no, because I can't bend over because they're
Listen
afraid
to
of
your wife. Listen
What?
to your wife. Listen to your wife. Sit on your ass. Put the television on and be a lazy ass tomorrow.
Don't listen to this story gaming motherfucker. Don't.
Well, that's what I did today. That's why I'm on here now. But so everything went a lot better than expected, so that's good. So
Sorry, John's corpse in.
He's gone again.
What? I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm
Story
just
gaming son of a bitch.
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Go on.
I'm just thinking of something to say, and it's not coming. So.
Well, it's fine. Basically, I should probably go to bed because it's Norway.
Because
Day
you're a pussy.
tomorrow.
Because
No,
you're a pussy. That's what. Yeah,
we're having a champagne breakfast tomorrow. I have bought a.
Ooh, look at you, Mr. Posh.
Mimosas? Is that what they are? Mimosas?
Posh, yes, I've bought a £45 bottle of champagne at Sainsbury's because I'm posh.
Yeah, that is. I've never spent 45 quid on a bottle of champagne. Bloody hell.
Yeah, but if you're getting a bunch of hopefully good-looking women drunk, it's worth buying.
No, I'm just getting my wife drunk, and she doesn't fit that criteria.
Oh, okay.
Hello, William. Okay.
Again, this is stuff you can tell her when we meet at Games Expo.
Absolutely.
But no, it's.
I am storing all of this up.
So it's traditional on Norway Day, which is tomorrow, Sutna, 17 May, to have like a champagne breakfast. So when I said to my wife, like, I don't have to drive to work tomorrow, do you want to do a champagne breakfast? She was like, yeah, get me good quality champagne. Like, I think she said Brut or something. I was like, oh, fuck that noise.
That just means dry. That just means dry, doesn't it?
Brute, yeah.
Yeah, but she basically meant like a £10 bottle of champagne. I was like, no. Like, yeah, we don't have much money to spare, but I'm not gonna drink a fucking £10 bottle of champagne. Very expensive taste because I'm not a story gamer. Like, I like to live in reality.
How old is your wife? How old will your wife be tomorrow?
How old will my wife be tomorrow on Norway's birthday? 32.
So it's not
Dude,
her
you're doing
birthday
pretty
as well,
good.
Norway.
I mean, well, this is the weird thing. So, in Norway, if it's somebody's birthday, you say "Gratulerer med dagen," happy birthday. When it's Norway's birthday tomorrow, you say "Gratulerer med dagen."
Okay.
Because it's like happy birthday to the country, and because they absolutely love their own fucking country. Like, that is the Norwegian way of life. Like, I fucking love my country. Even though we finished last on Eurovision. Ah!
That's a good thing, because Eurovision's shit. But it's also a good thing.
Yeah, they're actually the biggest chads for coming last.
Yeah. You know, we've talked about this on the Discord and things. Like, I like Eurovision. It's just a weird habit that I have, but at least I'm not a story gamer playing in Bears Palladium fantasy game.
My God. He's not gonna
It's
top
been a
that.
good game so far.
All right, we get it.
Watch
You're
it.
salty. We get it. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. If you want to play make believe and jack each other off about what my character would do that's not attached to dice rolls. Oh, Sir Philip would suck off the Wizard of Osprey.
If anybody who played in the last game I ran had any notes on it, please.
I don't have notes, but I will say, Daniel, that it wasn't a story game, and I fucking loved it because it was just pure and brutal.
I just need notes on what we were doing and where we were at.
I haven't got a clue. I was at work.
We broke into a mansion to steal something.
Yeah. Okay.
And then me and Yog and Slan.
My son. Yeah.
No, the game you ran, your son wasn't there.
All right.
And we debated whether to throw like a statue off a first floor.
I saw. Okay,
and would it cause too much noise?
Yeah, there are notes somewhere on the board.
But it wasn't a story game because we were considering the rules in the background.
Yeah.
And the character interactions were based upon our understanding of the rules framework and not just on Palladium's weird fucking mega damage.
So, Ginger, which judo move on the syllabus would you like to be demonstrated on you live?
Oh, live.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to demonstrate most of them live on you in the car park beforehand.
I would love if, like, sorry, British reference. I would love if Nightmare Live devolved into Traeger walking up and just fucking judo throwing that kid in the fucking helmet. That would make my day.
But which judo throw?
Fucking Nippon Ichi. I don't.
And Andy, what does he mean? Ippon Tsunagi?
Yeah,
that sounds like the closest possible.
That
one.
shit.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
Do you want it done right or left-handed off the sleeve?
The thing is, Yog. The thing is, your vague number of subscribers are going to be waiting for this for Games Expo.
Yeah. I'm going to need to put some mats in the boot of my car. So when we meet in the car park beforehand, I'll lay these down and be like, yeah, right, okay, live stream, Gingerbeard being dumped on his back in the car park. Yeah.
You film your own content, so you're going to have someone to hold the camera, maybe Iman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be demonstrating on me as well, because I'm more his size.
Oh!
No, I'm not saying that to be offensive. I'm saying that because it's true.
Well, the thing is, Gingerbeard
I mean, you guys are both over 6 foot.
Gingerbeard and Andy will have to be the recipients of the Thinhgs and things like that, because they'll be when I'm underneath somebody, because they're both you're both big guys.
How are you going to explain it to the car park in attendance?
I don't care. Iman, it'll be foot sweeps and strangles on you because you're the same size as me. It'll be easier. But Andy and Gingerbeard are far too big.
So let's imagine this situation where your subscribers are paid for you to fucking judo throw me in the car park of Games Expo. And
that's a great idea.
You've got
and then you go in with a broken hip.
What? No. I've got
when nerdy trash talk goes wrong.
Yeah. But we get there and you lay the fucking mats out because I'm not Mick Foley. I'm not going to take a flat ball onto concrete. You lay the mats out. You're like, right, I'm going to fucking nip on Itchy, this cunt Gingerbeard. And then the car park attendant comes over and she's like, what are you doing? You got to judo throw them as well. Like, how is this going to play out?
Yes.
Depends if they grab him first.
And then what I'm going to do is, have you seen that guy on Twitter, Steve Inman, who used to do all the MMA commentaries?
No.
He's taken to finding YouTube incidents of random violence and putting MMA commentaries over them, and some of them are absolutely magnificent. Like it's like police getting hold of people who robbers who are running away and then zapping them with their tasers. And he refers to it as Edison medicine or Zeus juice or something like that. It's very funny. So what I would do is I would video it.
I know,
and I would send it directly to Steve Inman. I would send it directly to Steve Inman to put a commentary over the top of it, and then me and you would go viral.
I will sell for you. Like, I'll let you throw me and slam me on the floor because I know that I look a lot like Kimbo Slice.
I don't know who that is.
He was a badass.
Yeah, he's a big.
Do you know what? Now that you mention it, you kind of do.
A white Kimbo Slice.
We're up on stream at the moment. Let's have a look. I'm going to find some of Steve Inman's videos because they are very, very. I like them. I like them.
What's
Show the one you sent me.
I probably need to go to bed soon because it's normal day tomorrow.
I'll piss off.
Do any of you watch Sean and Marley?
No.
No. I've heard of it.
It's two guys with Down syndrome on a cooking channel, and it is so wholesome. It is so good.
What's the name of it again?
Sean and Marley. I watch a lot of cooking videos when I'm not.
I do too.
Yeah, when I'm not watching Yogg's story gaming bullshit.
My brother's stepdaughter she had Downs. One of the nicest kids I ever met. So polite. So yeah, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, it's
a lot of
good.
people give people that have Downs a lot of shit, but in my experience with everybody I've known that's had it, they're like the nicest people you ever meet.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's kind of wonderful and sad. Like they're always super nice, but at the same time, like life expectancy is like 32 for somebody with Downs, so it's really sad.
I have to look it up. What is it? I'm sorry.
Sean and Marley. So you think about like Sean Marley, but Sean and Marley.
Sean and Marley. I have to look that up.
But I've
watched a lot of cooking stuff too.
Yeah, man, it's good.
My family's like, Dad, this is like today. I was cooking earlier on in the session. They're like, this is amazing. I'm like, well, yeah. And it's not that I write down one recipe on any show or blog or whatever.
It's kind of.
I take ideas and then I mix them together.
Yeah, it's good. Everyone should do it.
The funny thing is, if I tell them what I want to put into it, they're like, "Oh no, I don't want that." So I'm like, "All right, whatever, I won't," but I still do. And they're like, "This is amazing." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I put in everything you didn't want." So it's kind of funny that way.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, Dad, that was great." I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I did." And I know it's stuff they don't like, but
snuck it in.
Yep.
Did you like that? Well, it was healthy.
Like tonight, I did. We cheaped out. We only did chicken patties, but I did fried green beans, both French cut and full cut.
Andy disappeared.
With parsley, minced onion, and seasoned salt.
Thank you.
Done in olive oil. And they turned out
Sounds good.
amazing.
Sounds real good.
I'm a good little kitchen bitch.
Yeah.
Even when I'm drunk and on opioids, I'm a good little kitchen bitch.
That's the whole thing. I don't understand why gender roles have women in the kitchen, because it's pretty patently proven that men are far superior cooks.
Yep.
Well,
I
I
know.
said the other night, it's you never buy a woman a watch as a present. Why not? Because a cooker has a clock on it.
Oh.
John, did Mr. Baker ever answer your question?
He didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't. Anyway, I've got one of the Steve Inman videos up. I think this guy is really funny.
Yeah, this one.
I don't care if you dislike him. But
Before
here you
John
go.
plays the video, peace out. I love you guys.
All right.
Have a
Cheers.
good
You
night.
too, mate.
Good talking to
You
you.
too.
John.
Oh! Good night.
Oh, it's not over yet.
Uh-oh. Well, they all dress like they're stupid. But nice takedown. Why would your backpack be open for one thing?
Why did it all start in the first place? I mean,
Yeah.
So there you go. I've been watching his videos. He does MMA style commentary on fight videos from the internet, and I think they're really funny. But hey ho, it's just my sense.
So basically, that younger dude pushed past the old couple, and then the old man must have said something to him because the dude turned
And then
around
he
and
came
punched
back.
him.
Right.
And bystander got involved, sorted him out.
Yeah.
And then he
I
went
mean,
back
I'm
for
sorry.
more, and it was another bystander.
Yeah.
And it was the way the ginger Yorkshireman took his coat off and went bang.
Hey, yep. Yeah.
You don't mess with a ginger Yorkshireman because he's had a lot
No,
of shit at school.
I had that happen one night with me and my wife. Deb and I had just started dating. We're at a bar, and there was another couple there. They came down. The guy sat beside me. The girl sat beside my wife. And we're like, what the hell? We don't know you.
Why
No,
does
switch it.
why
No,
does
the guy
why does,
sat beside my wife.
why
The
does
girl
Twitter
sat
want my birthday? Why does Twitter want my birthday?
And
I don't
so
know.
the wife grabs my crotch. And I'm like, what the hell? We weren't even talking. You know, you say hi, whatever. And so then the guy thinks it's okay to grab my wife's scooter. Well, that's when shit got ugly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. He ended up running. He ran out of the back of the bar with his wife grabbing my arm saying, please don't hurt him.
Andy, this picture of you that's appeared now, they've taken.
Do you like that?
Tony that's not you.
It is.
What are
Is
you
it?
from?
It is.
What's the video game I'm thinking of?
That looks like
Red Dead
Halakar in a
Redemption.
mask.
No,
That looks like Halakar in a mask.
I was thinking it looks like Brian.
Let me take the cam off again. It is. Look.
Now,
I can go and
what's
get the mask
the-
and put it back on again
it's-
if you want.
the
No,
vid-
do you know what, Andy? Your beard is part of you, I think. That's why.
I've had that for a very long time, yeah. So when it's like that, it suddenly vanishes. It's a bit different.
Oh, it's a video. It's a fighting video game, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I remember.
Oh,
Finish
yeah,
him.
Mortal Kombat.
You look
Finish
like a
him.
guy from Mortal Kombat.
Finish him.
Yep.
Excellent.
That's not what you said to Lawrence. God.
Fuck Lawrence.
Which Lawrence? Who? When? What?
The Bloodborne stream. You were there for some of it, John.
Oh yes, it's the bad guy.
It would have
the
made
bad
a
guy.
sailor blush, that would have.
Oh,
Yeah, I did miss
And
that
that's when you
stream
won.
I missed the stream where he killed you 21 times. I saw the stream where you killed him almost first time. Well, first time, wasn't it?
Third try.
Third try. Okay. Shows how much I was paying attention. 'Cause I have to work on a Sunday. Those of you and inebrAITED who stream on Sundays, you're both evil. Pair of you.
Well, I can't intrude on our Call of Cthulhu session, or your midweek geek, or the Friday stream, or the Saturday games. So
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't want to do it on a day where I'm working. So that leaves Sunday.
And to be honest, I have crammed in my various streams and games on days when I might have a bit of spare time. So, yeah, if you're streaming on time and I'm not doing anything, then it's probably I haven't got spare time. I'm afraid that's the way my mind works. Find spare time on days when I can and do shit.
Hey, I appreciate any and all support I get.
Yeah, Stuff for Gun.
I just hope you guys are enjoying it.
Stuff for Gun. Stream whenever the hell you want. It's as simple as that. I was nervous about stepping on people's toes when I first started, but you know what? You build your own audience, and it doesn't matter if people jump from you to somebody else or come back or whatever. There's people out there to watch you.
See, like my issue is, I watch so many of you guys, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
between my D&D crowd and my gun groups, I can't keep up, and I feel bad.
It's impossible.
I'm not ignoring you guys. It's just there's not enough time. But yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, I'm lucky in the sense
out there. I'll catch up with you sometime. I'm
lucky in a sense. I tend to catch up with live streamed games like Cody's game and Elfbait's game and some of Bear's games. I do that when I can, when I'm at work, when it's quiet. But if there's a week when work isn't quiet, I'm not gonna keep up. It's as simple as that.
Oh, he's always on.
Well,
he posted his just the other day.
Which one? What? Who? What? Where?
Never or Night Below.
Oh, Mage.
Yeah, Mage posted a new video the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Which I look forward to them so much. It's yeah. He does a very good job of them.
Mage's summaries are good. They've got a bit of humor in them. And he does the way he uses the mechanics, the way he talks about what they're doing. It's interesting.
Yeah,
it sounds like he's got a few lined up for the current thing as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mage and Dungeon Minister, they're the two that do really good recaps.
Yeah.
But their recaps are nicely broken down to 15 to 20 minutes.
And then
easily digestible. And
then what they do is they go through the mission, whatever you call it, episode, and then he breaks them down on what happened and why.
Yeah.
And I love
it. That's good. It's a good way of doing it. It keeps things short. It keeps things interesting. It keeps things snappy. and you get a good explanation of what's happened, and that's what you want.
I just wish there was more of them. Like, I love your reviews when you do the reviews of the magazines and stuff like that.
Well, the thing with my magazine reviews is I've never read those magazines before, and I make a point of not reading them before I start recording myself. And yes, there might be the odd cut in the video, but that's only usually due to me coughing or a dog barking or something like that.
Well,
it's genuinely my first look at what's on that page.
I think that's really cool. I really do.
It's more authentic that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it comes that way, because that's what it is. I don't pre-read them on purpose because I want to have a look at what was in them, and just I'm not a big fan of reaction videos, but those that work are the ones where the people, it's obviously genuine that they've never seen it before. You see some that are so fake, and the fake ones are shit. But when they genuinely
I've got to admit, with the reaction, I was just to say, with reaction videos, I don't understand how people can be so emotional about something necessarily. It seems so weird. Or is that the millennials?
Well, can you understand why I was so emotional when I finally beat Lawrence? Is that justifiable?
But that's, you're in the game playing that, and I understand. You really get into it, don't you? But when people are watching a film or something or a TV show, it's like, oh my god, no, it's so
it's more passive.
I'm gonna cry. For God's sake.
Yeah. When it's an old magazine, it's different. I'm there talking about what my initial opinions of what I see in the magazine, and I don't have time to read the articles in thoroughly because I'd be there all day. But
what cracks me up is how pissed off John gets about all the advertisements.
I'm not so bothered about the ads as long as they are informative. I prefer the White Dwarf ads very much to the Dragon ads.
That and the splitting up of the articles.
Oh,
you start on page 12, go to page 64. That annoys him so much. It's stupid.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. I wish I knew. They do that
because I reckon at that. I reckon at that stage they weren't professional compositors doing it.
They're
it
probably
was just people knocking it together. Yeah.
Yep.
Still, it's like backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and no.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to do that. Just try and get a flow for the magazine rather than have someone flicking backwards and forwards through the pages constantly. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyway, I'm going to say now, I had no idea how long this stream would go on for, and I am getting tired.
Hey.
I think we can see.
Yeah.
Are you waving the white flag?
Yeah. Reaction streams are mostly a scam and acting. I think they are. Yeah, I do.
Are we doing the game tomorrow night?
I'll be reading something tomorrow night.
Okay.
I'll be reading something. So, yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow night. And I want to say, firstly, thank you to Saxius and thank you to Gingerbeard for joining in the stream earlier. And you chaps who've joined in and stuck with me to the end. I think it's only Iman who's got a channel here to shill, apart from Snufflegrunt, who's just joined us now. Hello, Snuffle. How you doing? Thank you for the computer advice yesterday. But people have joined us and people have bounced in, and Halakar and Daniel gave some subscriptions, and Mercurius gave some subscriptions, and yeah, thank you, chaps. But I've got to go to bed. It's been a long old day. I am tired. Thank you, Mike. we haven't been talking really gaming much,
Well,
have we? We've just been talking
hopefully
shite.
we took
But-
your mind off the situation for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that
It
worked.
was an emotional. I mean, when my wife got up there and gave a speech, she started talking about how much her father's grandkids, as in my kids, meant to him. I was just like, I was there going, I'm not, no, I'm honest, I'm not, no. But yeah, I was at it. My daughter cracked up completely. Both my kids were very close to their granddad. It's fair to say. They were very close. So today's been a tough day, and fair play to the pair of them. They've stood up to it. It's the first time we've had a loss like this since they've been at an age where they can really understand what's happening. And they've dealt with it really nicely, really well. So fair play to them. Anyway, I'm going to shoot off because I am shattered.
Right.
It's hit. My drinking today has hit me, and it's time to go to bed.
Have a good night, everybody.
So thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Iman. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, John.
And I'll be back on.
No worries.
It's time for me to go to bed. Thank you, chat.
See you later.
I'm tired. I'm tired, old man. Good night, all. Good night.
Look after